And now, you are listening to the TEAMHEEL Podcast, live, brought to you by Spreadshirt.com with HeelSteven, Non-Legit Wrestling, OKFabe, and Chase Oliver, ready to shoot the shit with each and every one of you live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 148 of the TEAMHEEL Podcast. We are now live. Memorial Day weekend's almost fucking here. I know a lot of you right now ready to go out there to the shore, or if you're out there with friends and family, going to the barbecues and drink a cold one, enjoy the hay. Guess what? There's no fucking work on Monday. So, yay, what better way to kick it off with an episode of the TEAMHEEL Podcast. We thank you all tonight for tuning in live. It is May 27th, 2016. It is literally, no bullshit, 1 month away from my birthday. A month from this exact date, I turned 26. God damn it, I'm about to be fucking 30. But as always, though, again, we thank you all tonight for tuning in live here on the channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit it with a big old thumbs up, and also spread the word, comment, and we'll be reading your comments on the show throughout the entire of this whole show, if you will. All right. As always, though, I am HeelSteven.
I'm Knowledge Wrestling.
I'm Chase Oliver.
I'm Conor, a.k.a. Oh, Daddy, Kayfabe.
And I'm Dave Set.
Gentlemen, how have you all been today?
So much for my hiatus.
Good.
I could be better, but
Conor,
I'm turning that around.
We're paying you good money on your Brock Lesnar. See, unlike WWE, we like utilizing our stars correctly, so we need you right now.
Yeah.
Well, first off, that's a joke right off the bat because you're considering me a star. But so there's that. That's the first fallacy in your statement.
What fallacy? You're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Which, by the way, you guys should go subscribe to the OKFabe channel.
Exactly, absolutely, dude. You're about to be in the 1K club.
And the YWC getting 1,000 subscribers, that makes you already like a good mid carder, you know?
Exactly.
All right, so I'm Sami Zayn. Thank you, Chase. You're just keeping those
I
insults.
said a
flowing.
good mid carder, not a bad one.
Okay, fair enough.
Touche though. I mean, it could be worse. You could be fucking Zack Ryder right now.
Kayfabe.
Have you ever heard the mix of Sami Zayn's theme with Take On Me?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, the weekend's here. Memorial Day. I know a lot of you guys again are heading your way to the beach, or if not, you'll be barbecuing with friends and family, realizing that hey, there's no work on Monday. More reason to get lit or turned up, like the kids say nowadays, all the way up. So yeah. Before we kick off the show, because again we have a lot of things to cut. Yeah, we have a lot of things to cover this week in the world of wrestling, involving a brand, involving a split, involving a show going live, and all that fun stuff in between. But before we get into all that, I want to give a quick shout out to Fort Minor Project, aka David Rivera. This past week, he celebrated 10 years on YouTube. That's right, 10 years. Holy crap. Congratulations, David Rivera, aka Fort Minor Project. He did a 10-year video on his channel. Go check it out. But again, just amazing to think, 10 years. In 10 years, YouTube has gone through its ups and its downs, changes. And I remember it was only yesterday, right? YouTube, you can only... it took me literally 30 minutes or an hour to watch a 5-minute video back in the day.
Do you remember the star system?
Oh, that too.
Oh, yeah. Please rate 5 stars. Oh, my God. That was like...
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny when you go back and you watch like older videos from like 2007 of older YouTubers. Like, make sure you guys rate this 5 stars. Thank you all very much. Like when I started YouTube videoing, 5 stars was still a thing until like my 3rd month, and then it went to the likes and dislikes type of deal. Like they started to do the likes and stuff like that.
No, of course, I remember that too. I remember that as well back in the day. I remember back in the day on YouTube, you could make video responses to somebody, can send it to them. When you started on YouTube. Oh,
that's right. You can link as a video response. That's right.
Yeah, things
Dude,
back
I kind of wish they brought that back, to be honest with you.
That was something that really did help out, especially like our community, the wrestling community, because let's face it, the wrestling community, it's not really that big of a community when it comes down to the YouTube and stuff like that. But that really helped our community because, like, if you knew a popular YouTuber that was, like, cool with you and you sent them a video response, they would put that, and that would be under their video, and you could track the stats like, okay, that's where the people saw my video and stuff like that. They saw it from that person's channel, so it's good to video response and stuff like that to them. Like I used to accept video responses all the time because if someone made a good response, and I would watch the responses too and
Yeah,
stuff
me
and be
too.
like, oh, this person's good, so I'm just going to accept it. I'm not going to accept everyone's video response.
Yeah, exactly. I remember back in the day, though. Again, I remember when I started on YouTube, you can only do up to 10 minutes of video on the phone. I used to record myself on the phone. A lot of things you had to earn, which I kind of miss too. I feel like there's, the whole idea of getting a partnership back in the day. If you got a partnership back in the day, it was a fucking big deal. It was a fucking honor.
I remember my first video that I got monetized was my top 10 favorite WWE superstars video. Like this was like way old, so this list is way outdated of all time. And it was like I was like freaking out to all my friends on Skype, like guys, I just got a monetizing option on this video. And I was like so pumped that I was getting it. And then later on, like it was like my friends who were partners, I envied them. Like that's what I wished to have. But now everyone has a partnership when they sign up. Like everyone has custom thumbnails when they sign up. That's why it's so hard. That's why I always say it's so hard for some people who are starting out doing like YouTube channels, especially when it comes to gaming, even wrestling, or just anything really. Because to be honest, it's just so hard because technology is so much more advanced that like back in the good old days, you could just pop in a camera and hope you were entertaining enough, and boom, bam, there you go.
They're all based on entertainment. You know what I mean? A lot, nowadays, things are just handed to. I feel like anyone now can get a partnership on YouTube. Anyone nowadays can get the option to custom thumbnails. Anyone can now do live streaming. It is not a dig. It's not a dig at anybody. I just feel like with the whole term of live streaming, it should be earned, not just given to some random schmuck. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. But other than that, though, David Rivera, For Minor Project, congratulations, 10 years on YouTube. Here's if I had a drink on my hand right now, to 10 years and beyond. And again, if you want to go check him out, go to youtube.com/FortMinersProject, his channel, check him out, sub to him. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Daniel, aka the CG Show on YouTube. This past weekend, I did an interview on his channel. He interviewed yours truly, where we talked about my YouTube channel and my humble beginnings and all that fun stuff. Link to that video down below in the description box. So give it a check out at the end of the show. Give it a check out, sub to his channel. He interviewed me this past weekend, but he also interviewed OKFabe a while back. So again, just check him out. And I think it's cool that, as YouTubers, all of us get to interact. We get to collaborate, especially now with programs with Skype recording and video recording. You know what I mean? Just amazing. Back in the day, with collaboration, the way I looked at it, right? It was on a Skype call, and you have to have no headphones plugged in, so the audio had to come out through your computer, and the share time would be choppy. Who remembers that back in the day? Who remembers that?
Wait, for what were you asking about?
Like video collab. Remember, like back in the day, for video collaborations with people, like through Skype, for example, right?
Oh,
you had to have like the headphones jack unplugged out, so the audio would come out of the computer, and sometimes, not all the time, depends on your internet connection. There'll be like all choppy audio.
Oh yeah. Well, that's how I record my podcast with my friends. It works out just fine because I know how to set up my things. And Skype actually has done a better job because they got rid of background noise. So like not a lot of background noise is coming through anymore from Skype's end because they got rid of that feature.
Yeah, so that was cool. But nowadays, with advanced technology and all that, and again, it's amazing to see how far we've come with technology and all that. You know what I mean? But other than that, though, I mean, it's amazing. So before we get into the wrestling talk and all of that, I want to let everyone know, big little thing here. So the TEAMHEEL Podcast is now on Patreon. Now, for those of you out there who don't know what Patreon is pretty much a program where you can fund content creators. Now, I get it. Now, people at this point are going to go, oh, this is e-bagging. He's going to start e-bagging. I'm not. This is nothing to do with e-bagging. This, at the end of the day, is an option if you choose to. All right? As you all know, the TEAMHEEL Podcast has been around since 2013. All right? And we've been in so many platforms. We've been in so many formats. All right? But one of the big things for us is that we want to help, expand, help improve the production value and the quality of our content, especially the TEAMHEEL Podcast as well. So with your donations, with your help, we'll be able to get that done. With that being said, again, getting better equipment, an actual mixer, even the a new microphone and all that fun stuff, and especially the whole thing of getting actual guests, like people from the wrestling business. Because believe it or not, that itself, it's not free. Okay?
It's not an easy task either.
It's not an easy task
trust
either.
Me, and this is just me speaking
task.
from experience, because this is something I'm trying to do on my channel too. And trust me, it's not as simple as like just messaging someone saying, "Hey, can I be on your podcast?" It's not necessarily that smooth and that simple, especially from a monetary value. I'll tell you a complete honest story, and this is not a slam on them whatsoever. I tried to get the Young Bucks about a year ago on my channel, and Nick and they responded to me. Very nice gentlemen. They said they were willing to do it for the low easy price of $200 each.
So $400
Yep.
That's amazing. But
I mean, they got to make their money.
Exactly. I mean, again,
I don't fault him for that. I'm just saying that's an example of how hard it is to get guests on the show.
Exactly. And that's one of the goals for us as well. Not just get the Young Bucks. I mean, that'd be cool to get the Young Bucks on one day, but to get guests that you're all going to enjoy and give you guys an entertaining and more, a good quality of content. That's
Speaking of which, Steven, shout out to Anthony Missionary Thomas for doing the entertaining show that he did.
Exactly. Yeah, big shout out to Anthony Missionary Thomas Wrestling. So,
for putting up with us, the poor bastard.
Yeah, exactly. So down below, there's a link in the description. If you want to donate, again, it's your choice. We're not putting the gun to you. We're not telling you have to. I don't want people to think, just because we're not donating or anything, we're not contributing to the show. Guess what? Either way, you are contributing. Whether it's listening to us live, whether you call in, whether you share this podcast, this stream, whether you listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, every way, shape, or form, you guys are contributing, and we appreciate that. End of the day. But if you want to, again, it's your choice. Links down below in the description. And that's all I got to say about that. Anything you guys want to say, if anything?
No, if you guys like the content that Steven is producing, just support the Patreon. If you guys support the TEAMHEEL Podcast, that's awesome. If not, best way to support also is, like Steven said, keep listening, call in, share this on Twitter, Facebook, whatever other forms of social media we're missing, just so that way people know we're live. Always leave a thumbs up because that helps out a lot too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And also downloading the iTunes and Spreaker and Sound, whatever other freaking crap we're on. I don't even know at this point. There's 8 million shows we're on, but 8 million different networks we're on when it comes down to it. But yeah, just keep showing love and support. That's like really the best way to, this Patreon is just so that way we can keep on improving. So that way maybe all of us can have high quality microphones like Steven, Conor, and I have. So that way Steven can get a cool level board. So that way everyone has so that way Steven can level up noise a little bit better and stuff like that, because there is some audio complaints sometimes. Like, this is mostly just so that way you guys get a better listening experience, because obviously you guys don't see us on camera. We're just here chilling and talking.
Thank God for that.
On a Skype, on a Skype call.
But yeah, so like that's the thing too. What Patreon is there for, it's not like the old days of YWC where it's just like you're begging for money and stuff like that.
Exactly. Listen, even if you don't, guess what? At the end of the day,
we still do the show.
I'm not gonna. We'll still do the show no matter what. We're not gonna die. We're not gonna have our house taken away. We're not gonna go to jail. We're not. We're not gonna go homeless because of this. End of the day, we want to improve the quality and production value of this podcast and everything around this. Everything, period. You know what I mean? And if you do so at the same time, there are rewards as well.
Well, I mean, if they can't do that, they can always just buy the t-shirt.
Exactly. If not, even if you buy a t-shirt over at the TEAMHEEL Podcast store over at Spreadshirt, you're also contributing to the show.
Right.
Just want to get that out there, guys. At the end of the day, I know you guys may think, this is e-bagging. You guys, no, we're not. Nothing at all. None at all. It's your choice.
To make it clear, Steven, the difference between like using Patreon to benefit like a project that you're actually doing. And e-begging is using the likes of a website like Patreon for self-gain, for purposes outside of a project. Like if you needed gas money, or if you're trying to get a new system, like a new PlayStation or whatever, that's e-begging.
Exactly.
Okay. Support Team Heel Podcast by giving us money so we can buy fucking.
Yeah, if you get us a PlayStation, guys, then we could stream games.
Yeah.
Like we can do WWE. What the? Like,
exactly.
That's just stupid.
Listen, I need a capture card. Right? Listen, no, nothing at all. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to, awesome.
You go to work for that.
Exactly. Listen, at the end of the day, I've been doing this podcast. I've been having this channel and doing the podcast in a combined 5 years. All right.
Nice.
And end of the day, I do it for you guys. We do this podcast for you guys to enjoy, for you guys to listen, whether you're at work, you're at school, which I'll be shocked if you listen to a podcast during the class hours, but that's around the point. But again, we do it for you guys, and we thank you all for tuning in every single week and just spreading the word. Simple as that. With that being said, let's get into some wrestling talk.
All right.
So, big breaking news here, and no, it's not Money in the Bank, even though we know some of the participants that'll be in.
6 of the 7.
6 of the 7 announced, and no, it's not Charlotte breaking up with Ric Flair by no means at all either.
That was horrible.
He didn't blade. God damn it! I was so upset about that.
Exactly.
Damn it.
End of the day, what happened is okay. Big breaking news here: SmackDown. SmackDown is moving live on the USA Network. They're on the USA Network currently now, but they're moving to Tuesday nights starting July 19th.
Thank God.
And they will be live on the USA Network. So, with that being said, the Tuesday Night War, I guess, is commencing.
Really?
So, I mean, listen, I'll be honest. I currently, and I'll be real with you guys, I don't watch SmackDown. I don't. Okay? Because to me, honestly, I don't see the gist of Smack. I don't see it. Okay.
And I'll blame you right now, but
everyone
you just
knows,
wait, because at least for the first month or two, SmackDown's gonna kick so much ass.
End of the day, listen, everyone knows the A show's always been Raw, always will be Raw. That's the show. Let's face it. End of the day, WWE, all they care for is for Raw. That's all you really care for.
If the Raw, you made it.
Exactly. SmackDown, yes, live, great all you want. Will I tune in to watch the first episode? Most likely, yeah. Of course I will. You know what I mean? But do I promise to a consistent base to tune in? I don't know about that.
I mean, there was a reason why, when they did the first brand split, why Raw had The Rock and Austin and Goldberg, and then SmackDown had newer faces, because it was a workhorse show.
Exactly. Exactly. So, listen, again, I'm happy. I'm excited. And now there's been talk as well of a potential WWE brand split.
Well, it's not talks. It's official.
It's official now. It's official now. Okay, I thought it was talk. But overall, though, guys, Conor, I want to ask you this question. What is your take overall on SmackDown going live? What does this mean for you as a wrestling fan? Overall?
To be completely honest with you, if there's any... Okay. People can argue a lot of shit about the pros and cons of this, which I'm sure we're going to dive into this in great length and debate and argument. I will say that the one good positive thing, no matter what way you slice this, is that SmackDown goes live. Because SmackDown's proven that if you give it enough time, effort, and energy and actually put focus on it, it can be successful. But I think one of the biggest things that harbored it was the fact that it was taped. People can read, especially nowadays where the internet is so damn popular, people can find out what happens on SmackDown up to 3 days before it makes air. Having that live feel to it could really can make the interest level go through the roof. I mean, you guys remember every now and then they would do the Super SmackDown live? I mean, granted, every now and then they wouldn't be the greatest SmackDowns, but at the very least, you didn't know what the hell was going to happen. So that at least created much more intrigue versus a taped environment. So I think if nothing else, SmackDown gets a little bit more recognition. It gets a little bit more praise. It gets a better opportunity to become successful. I'm not saying it's going to be, but
sure.
If there's no other positive from this, it's that SmackDown goes live.
Now, Walter,
Oh,
let me
yeah.
ask, now, Walter,
100%.
now, Walter, let me ask you this question now. You as a fan now, are you gonna go out of your way to tune into SmackDown every week live now, or are you gonna, how's it gonna work for you? Is Walter on right now?
Walter's stunned in silence.
All right, Chase. What about you, dude? Like, are you gonna find a
Uh,
way to get it fixed, or are you gonna get to make time to watch it, or is it still for you same routine as usual?
well, like Connor said, it's good that it's now live because if it was taped on Thursday, still like if it was just like Tuesday tapings and then Thursday we get SmackDown, I probably still wouldn't watch SmackDown. I would just read the spoilers because, like, to be honest with you, I just want to see what they do with a live show. Like Draven G made out a good comment. He said, "No more canned noise." I can't tell you how many times I've heard that girl screaming from 2000 on the SmackDown
Oh
shows. That
my
you watch.
God.
It's like the same piped in crowd noise that they've had since like 2000, and it just looks bad on the promos too because sometimes it's just overdo the can noise and stuff like that. So it's good that they're finally live. That's the only thing that really gets my intrigue about SmackDown, and the only thing, like Connor says, is the positive because like SmackDown is finally having a live show. SmackDown finally kind of has some interest, and you don't know what's going to happen. So that's
Yeah.
really the only positive. Like, will I go out my way to see it? Depends on what the roster's looking at. Really, to be honest, because I might DVR it if that's the case, because like it's on at 8 o'clock and stuff like that, and I might have school. Well, 8 o'clock my time, but I might have school or something. So yeah, but I will watch it like
Yeah,
a
of
little bit
course.
more because like I didn't really watch SmackDown all that much, to be honest. I just thought SmackDown was just like Raw, where it's just like it was just more like, hey, we have a little bit more matches and stuff like that. But it didn't matter because what you saw on SmackDown normally bled into Raw anyway. So that's why I just kind of only paid attention to Raw. Like I would read the SmackDown spoilers just in case they would have something shocking or something cool. But there's more to discuss about, but that's more like when we get into the other topics on the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. Now, Dave, I'm reading a comment here. From, let's see here, from Dynasty here, Dynasty 215, and Dave, this is what the comment pretty much says. Only reason they're moving and going live is they are close to canceling SmackDown. Now, Dave, do you think that's true, or what's your take on that? And your take
All
overall
right.
on them going to Tuesday nights, and are you gonna be tuning
Um.
in, or what's the routine for you, buddy?
Uh, it actually SmackDown's dear to me because it's like that when I first started. I mean, like as a real little kid, and I wasn't really paying attention. They had like Superstars or whatever on like Fox, but I like that wasn't it for me. I wasn't following continuously. But then when SmackDown debuted and came out on UPN back in the day, that was all I had. I didn't have cable. So that meant a lot that it was on regular TV, and then like Bert's transition to go to sci-fi and stuff like that. And I mean, when they had the brand exclusive shows and pay-per-views and stuff, um, it felt good. The only thing that made it that you just knew that Raw meant more was the fact that they did a Raw recap on SmackDown, but Raw never did a SmackDown recap. So you knew Raw was still the better show no matter what. And I think right now the fact that they're forcing it to Tuesdays and they're gonna make it live is they moved it to USA, and they want to do everything as possible to keep it on since they had to move it to USA. However, they're still doing a Raw replay on Sci-Fi on Tuesdays. So if you could miss Raw on Monday and then end up with like 4 hours on Tuesday.
Absolutely, and I agree with that too.
Oh,
Uh,
too
I
much
say
wrestling.
Yeah, and I say this as well though. 2 years ago, remember Thrash Maniac 99, our good friend Levi here from the interwebs here, said about the draft pick. Remember we used to fuck around, joke around about it, and everyone gave him a hard time. Hashtag brand split, brand split. I'm sure right now he has a big grin on his face. And happily so.
The
Happily
dude's
so.
probably like, pick up the phone because I fucking called it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's probably talking to Vince or something.
He probably is so. He probably
Uh,
is. And can't say I don't blame him, Rick. He really can't say I don't blame him. Now, not legit wrestling. Well, I'm going to ask you this question. There's a comment here from the Straight Shooter that says, get ready for the IWC to overrate SmackDown because of the NXT talent moving up to SmackDown. And it will be more of a wrestling show with a lot of matches a little story. Walter, what do you think about that? And your take overall? 'Cause I know you had to step out for a little bit. Your thoughts on SmackDown going to Tuesday nights live, and for you, will you be tuning in live every week, or for you, will it be same old, or what would it be for you, buddy?
SmackDown, dude. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm not gonna watch it religiously. Still, I mean, I'll tune in sometimes, but nah, I'm not gonna watch it every Tuesday. I feel like as much as it depends who gets drafted to at the same time. I don't think anyone too big's getting drafted to SmackDown, but I'll check it every now and then. But I don't know if I'm gonna watch it religiously, like
Well,
everyone else.
it's not just that. There's also I've heard talk that there's a possibility, just a possibility, that they might be bringing in a second world title.
I don't know.
heard,
I don't know if
I
they
heard the,
should. I don't know if they should. Do
I heard
that.
the ridiculous rumors about that too, and the way they planned it out, it sounds absolutely disastrous already for the beginning of the brand split.
I mean
The way they're planning it out, it sounds absolutely ridiculous.
I'll tell you guys what. In the guys in the comment threads right now in the chat, I want you guys to give us, for you guys, because I'm sure what they'll do on that live show, they'll do 10 people for Raw, 10 people for SmackDown. I'm sure that's what they'll do. They'll take the format from 2002 when they did the first brand split, right? Back with Flair and Vince. I'll tell you guys what, in the chat, give us 10 guys that you feel, 10 guys or women, men or women, that will go to Raw, and 10 men or women that you see going to SmackDown. Let us know in the chat, and we'll read this out and see if we could agree or not here.
Steve.
So again, guys, if you want, comment, tell us, who do you see 10 people going to Raw, 10 people going to SmackDown in the chat, and we'll read it out loud for you guys. So what are you gonna say, Dave?
While the chat is like filling that out, I've been waiting like all week to talk about this, and I think this is a good way to benefit the whole brand split thing in regards to like how they do the draft night or the lottery or whatever. And so not that first week when SmackDown goes live, but the week prior, we should be finding out on Raw who's going to run what show. And I think that whole week, like, they need to, like, this would be a very interesting concept, and I think we're at a point in time, because now they're in connection with, like, fucking, what's that show Jonathan Coachman has on ESPN?
Off the Top Rope.
Yeah, so we got that, but I'm not saying that the draft has to take place on ESPN, but we can, it's almost to the point where it can be in that kind of format, and I wouldn't mind having the draft take place on multiple days. So if, like, the week prior...
They won't be able to do that because Battleground is the following is that Sunday.
It is?
So they're going to have Raw, SmackDown Live for the first episode, and then Battleground.
No, I'm talking about the week prior.
No, you can't do the draft too early. No one's that invested into the product right now to do a draft throughout the whole week, so that way we know. And plus that would be so lame. It's like, oh, so this guy got drafted to SmackDown and it got announced randomly on a fucking Thursday out of all things. Like, no, you got to announce that live.
No, I don't mean all week. What I was trying to say is, it's like, okay, let's say they do the format 10 picks for Raw. You get 10 picks on Raw. Like, both brands are going to be there the Raw before SmackDown goes live. Then the last taped SmackDown will also, to guarantee views leading into the week it's going to be live the week before, you do the final 10 draft picks for Raw and SmackDown on that week's SmackDown also. And then finally, on that weekend on Saturday, what you do is the supplemental draft on the network. Now, what do you think about that?
The supplemental draft on the number, you could do that.
Because if you want
to make it realistic, you could do this whole thing, like, you could have a show, like, they're airing something on the WWE network, a random show, or something on demand, right? On the option, and then what you do, or if not, okay, it can't be on the on-demand thing. It has to be on the live show they have on the network.
Honestly, just do the whole. I mean, do at least like the majority of the draft on the network. Do you know how much of a buzz that would give?
Yeah.
Seriously,
I would say this is what you do. You do the live draft show that you have July 11th, because they already announced that. So that's why, Dave, your plan can't work, because they already announced that the draft show is July 11th. So there's
Which
no
will
way.
be on a Monday. Doesn't be on episode of Raw.
It's on an episode of Raw. You do your major picks on there, and then you say, "Oh, you want to know where everyone else is going? Well, here you go. You have to tune into the network to see the rest of the draft picks pull out because, like, I'm pretty sure if people want to watch people watch the NFL and NBA draft religiously every year. You know, that's the thing they look forward to more than the actual games themselves is just the draft. And if you finish it off on the network, it would give people a little bit more talking points and stuff like that. I think the post-Raw rundown would be pretty fun. You know, we get to give, like, live updates on who got drafted where and stuff like that.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to read some comments here from Dynasty215. For Raw, he has Roman, Orton, Rollins, Owens, Charlotte, Bray, and Miz. Eddie Palomino has something really different here. Number 1, Santino. 2, LeBron James. 3, Ronaldo. Either Cristiano or the other and all from Brazil. I don't know which one you mean.
Really bad.
4, Stephen A. Smith, my boy. 5, Eddie Guerrero. 6, Chris Benoit. 7, Skip
God.
Bayless. 8, Higuain. 9,
Wait
Boban.
for it.
And 10, my boy, Bernie Sanders. Feel the burn. Feel the burn, motherfuckers.
Eddie, I believe you have single-handedly outdrafted us all.
He's drafting real stuff. I mean, LeBron and Stephen A. Smith, that's a great combination right there.
Please.
LeBron manager.
Stephen A. WrestleMania 33. Stephen A. Smith versus Skip Bayless. Here we go.
I'm telling you right now, my client LeBron James is going to go in there. He's going to make sure that in the paint that Roman Reigns cannot handle it. Stephen A., my boy Roman Reigns, he's going to Superman punch LeBron James himself, and it's going to not be a good... That's blasphemy if you think that Roman Reigns can Superman LeBron James. That's a blasphemous skip.
I know, right? Oh, my God. Now, listen here, Stephen A. You got to understand this right now, okay? Dean Ambrose right now is in no position right now to understand the fact that he is not a main eventer. The authority right now, they're on a different level right now. I'm telling you right now, Stephen A.
You hear yourself talking, Skip. You hear yourself talking, Skip. That's just blasphemy you're saying right now, Skip. Yeah, you're trying to say that a guy like Dean Ambrose is not a main eventer. Ha! What are you on, Skip? Are you on some drugs? You on some drugs, Skip?
I'm telling you right now, Stephen A. Listen here, Stephen A. Listen, you can bring the McMahon family out there. I was there back in 1985, WrestleMania 1 at Madison Square Garden. I was there. When Bruno Sammartino wrestled superstar Billy Graham. And I was there at the Garden back in the 70s. You kind of get the idea.
I'm telling you now, bro.
No, I have my inside sources. I went to dinner with Shane McMahon and his wife. Wife is very lovely, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. McMahon for the wonderful dinner. But I was there, and what Shane told me was that Dean Ambrose is a guy for the future, Skip. Now, that's pretty much the first take for you guys. We just did first take for you.
Now, you should see us do Bruce Blitz and Mad. Now, Brucey, look here, Bruce. You gotta understand, Cesaro carried John Cena. You gotta understand, John Cena had a good match with Cesaro. I'm telling you, Bruce, he had a good match.
I don't want to do it right now. It's too boring.
I know. The Angry Mark writes, my Raw roster: Roman Reigns, Rusev, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Apollo Crews, and the Shining Stars: Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Emma. He also writes for SmackDown roster: The Miz, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, John Cena, New Day, Apollo Crews, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Asuka. I'm a Roman Reigns fan. To you, Twan. That's what he writes. NJ from the British Fist writes: Raw, Enzo, Cass, Owens, Charlotte, Reigns, Rollins, Ambrose, Miz, Rusev, Miz, and Dana.
So Miz gets drafted twice. Is that just that damn good?
I know, right? Draven G writes for SmackDown: Cena, AJ, Owens, Corbin, ADR Breeze, Ambrose, Becky, Primo, and Epico. Straight Shooter writes for the 10 people that will be on Raw: 1, Roman Reigns; 2, Seth Rollins; 3, Wyatt; 4, Del Rio; 5, Kevin Owens; 6, Cesaro; 7, Miz; 8, Randy Orton; 9, Ziggler. Oh my God! And 10, Sheamus.
Ziggler on Raw. Put his
Mine is Ziggler on there. I actually like that Raw roster the best.
But I think, again, we can go so many routes on this. Who knows, though? Can you imagine? Like, here's the thing about it, too. There's that possibility where even with the brand, with the brand split, one will be, again, who to say that Raw has all the stars and SmackDown just has, shit?
That's what it's going to be, I think.
Or vice versa. Remember,
No,
I mean, remember, either way, to quote Paul Heyman, to quote, Conor's favorite, idol, Paul Heyman, the great Paul Heyman, SmackDown is the bitch of the WWE.
Here's the thing, though. Are they really going to put all... But here's the thing. Are they really going to invest all this publicity, time, effort, and energy and make SmackDown shit? That would be horrible. Not just from their perspective as far as, like, just, it's just bad business. However, and especially you, Steven, should hear all the positive about this. So I'm just going to throw this out there to everybody in the chat as well, too. Now, again, everything in the draft right now is pretty much rumors at this point. There's nothing really concrete other than the fact that it's going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Supposedly, they're going to keep Roman Reigns and John Cena as far away from each other as possible. So the chances are Roman Reigns will be on one and John Cena will be on the other. Supposedly, Roman will be on Raw, John Cena will be on SmackDown. The reason I bring this up is because originally the plans were to have them face off at SummerSlam, which is not going to happen now. Instead, no. The plan is for...
You're not going to expand Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for 3 months.
The rumor is that Kevin Owens will get a world title shot.
Oh, yeah.
I
expect
Woo! Wait, watch him lose, though.
He's going to win Money in the Bank.
Our Dynasty 12.
No, they're going to give it to someone. They're going to give it to someone else. All
right, I'm reading. Okay, there's more people.
Dynasty said guaranteed Dudley split again.
No, Dynasty 12. Dynasty 215 right here. SmackDown. Cena, Sammy, Cesaro, Ambrose, New Day, Enzo, Kaz, Bubba, Cruz, Corbin, and Ziggler. In the Rope Show, Matt from I'm sure it's Matt, probably also Zach. Who fucking know? But it's from In the Rope Show here. They write SmackDown: John Cena, Bray Wyatt, Kevin Owens, Kalisto, and the New Day.
Oh, so the team that's gonna break up this year is the Lucha Dragons.
Also here for NJ here from British for SmackDown: Wyatt family, Cesaro, New Day, Cruz, AJ, Club, Baron Corbin, Page, Luchas, and Zayn. Eddie Palomino writes, why the fuck is Knowledge of Wrestling not in this convo? Walter, why are you not in the convo right now?
I was just laughing the whole time. I think he's talking about
Skip
what
Bayless.
we're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let's have a little fun here. There's 5 of us on the show. Okay. Steven, it's your show, so let's pretend you're the authority. You're in charge of both Raw and SmackDown. Out of the remaining 4 of us, which 2 of us go to SmackDown? Which 2 of us go to Raw as podcasters?
Okay. Okay.
You run both.
For Raw, I have Fabe.
Why?
And Knowledge of Wrestling. And for SmackDown, we have Chase Oliver and Dave Sack. East Coast versus West Coast. There you go.
All right.
SmackDown's a West Coast.
Apparently now.
Yeah, because we're both California.
I'm like Triple H. I don't work Tuesdays.
Oh, so you're gonna get so let me get this straight. Because you don't work Tuesdays, Steven has to trade you for both non-legit and kayfabe, and then some random
we can find 3 other people. We can find like 3 of the callers. So like he'll trade Michael Corbin, Weston, and then like someone else to over to SmackDown for you guys. So you guys just have like those callers, and then I go over to Raw.
Could be.
Okay. So I get 3 callers, me and 3 callers, and then you join kayfabe and non-legit. Okay, that works.
I don't work Tuesdays.
Kevin Owens should win Money by Cody Collier writes here. Kevin Owens should win Money in the Bank and cash in on Cena if Cena wins number 16 at Mania 33, which I doubt he will, but who knows at this point, right?
There's still that number 7 spot, and if it's Bray Wyatt, I hope he wins.
So NJ posted that about the GM situation. I believe it's kind of rumored that Stephanie is going to go on SmackDown.
That makes sense.
Shane's going to do Raw and Stephanie's going to do SmackDown.
Yeah. It makes sense because, one, Stephanie actually did a good job during her run of SmackDown, and I think they could play off of that. Like, that's going to be her excuse to get it, even though she's going to want Raw. And I know a lot of people are like, well, with Shane on SmackDown, he'll bring views because everybody likes Shane. But the thing is, if everybody really likes Shane, they're going to want him on the flagship show.
It very well could be. I'm reading more comments here about the people who feel they're gonna go for SmackDown by the straight shooter. 1, John Cena. 2, AJ Styles. Can you imagine that? AJ Styles and John Cena on the same brand.
Yep.
3, Dean Ambrose. 4, Sami Zayn. 5, Rusev. 6, Baron Corbin. 7, Neville. 8, Apollo Crews. 9, Kalisto, and 10, Harper.
Not
Well,
bad.
minus Harper, that's a good list.
Reading a comment here from In the Rope Show. I think one of the best things for SmackDown would be John Cena winning the World Heavyweight title and losing it to an up and coming star. I mean, it could be. It very well could be. It depends on who it is, though. I mean, you're gonna have him drop it to Apollo Crews. You're gonna have him drop it to I don't know, to Baron Corbin. That'd be different.
Okay.
But one thing one thing I've been hearing now, because again, I did reference the Tuesday Night War thing. I did reference that. Reason being, as you all know, it's no secret. Impact Wrestling TNA does Impact on Tuesdays on Pop TV now, and now SmackDown's moving on July 19th to Tuesday nights on USA Network Live. I've been hearing people saying, "Oh, it's another jab, it's another more salt to the wound of TNA. It's gonna die soon." End of the day, here's how I look at it. Okay, is it does it give TNA competition? Yes. Does it affect TNA as far as the view share? Yeah, it does. But as a wrestling fan, it's more wrestling to watch. Gives you options.
Too much.
Gives you options. I agree. It's too much. But again, alternatives. That's what it comes down to.
But Steven, do you think TNA is going to be stupid enough to because not only is SmackDown going to Tuesday, but they're going to be live. Do you think TNA is going to be stupid enough to try to pull a live show again?
Listen, they're not. I mean, again, their focal point right now is try not to compete with WWE. That should be their objective.
And unfortunately, they're just
gonna move the day probably.
They probably would. I mean, put it this way: Monday night you have Raw, Tuesday you now have Impact Wrestling, and now SmackDown starting on July 19th. Wednesday night you have everyone's favorite melting pot, NXT. You have fucking Lucha Underground, which is a television show, not a wrestling show, or promotion that is. I'm sorry. And you have Ring of Honor. Thursday nights you have, I guess right now SmackDown until they move to Tuesday nights, and Friday you'll have nothing.
Unless you watch is New Japan on Fridays? Because they actually air here in America.
Could be, but I mean, again, there's so much wrestling coming up in the upcoming weeks. But at the end of the day, again, it gives fans options. It gives fans varieties. Stuff to enjoy. End of the day.
I totally okay. I just want to throw this out because it's somewhat news, and I know when it comes to NXT news, we just want to make it quick. The mighty Don't Kneel, is that what they're called? They debuted this past Wednesday.
Okay.
Wait, what? I thought we were talking about the brand split right now. We got NXT.
He mentioned NXT. I just wanted to get it out there real quick and just end it.
You have NXT talk later on with the whole DN stuff, so let's focus on the brand split right now.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
But the thing about the brand split, I think we've done enough talking about who should be on what show. I think it's time we should really talk about the pros and cons of the brand split. And kind of get into a little debate about it. And here is one thing that I'm going to say that is not popular opinion. I already know that. Is that I don't want John Cena on another brand that doesn't feature Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, what the fuck are you talking about, Chase? And here's the thing. I feel like John Cena needs to be on the same brand as either Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. And this is why I'm throwing it out there. Because, see, the thing is, Cena is still their star. He's still the guy. Roman can cut the promo saying he's the guy. Seth Rollins can name that he's the future all he wants. Mm-hmm. But really, in wrestling standpoint, we always want the guy to at least pass the torch. We always want to see the fictitious torch be passed on to the newer generation and stuff like that. And my thing is that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, as performers right now, they're main event level guys. But they aren't built like that yet, if you get what I'm saying. They're not at that stature of, hey, it's John Cena. Like Reigns, they try to feature like John Cena, but it doesn't work out as well. Same with Seth Rollins. They try to feature him as a top heel, but it doesn't work out well. And I feel what will help both of them moving forward is if they get the Cena rub before Cena jumps ship to another brand and he becomes the face of that brand. Because here's the thing, if you really want to show that SmackDown is going to change and be different, you have to try to make it feel different. You have to have it a different look than Raw. Not to a whole point where it's just a bunch of indie matches that we're watching, but where it's not like, hey, we have to depend on just using John Cena's name to get people to give a shit about SmackDown. Like, if these guys like that I'm hearing, like the Sami Zayns, the Kevin Owens, the AJ Styles, who I'm a fan of AJ Styles, I'm a fan of Kevin Owens. I have nothing against those two. Sami Zayn I don't like so much. But if those guys are legit guys, if those guys are supposed to be fucking stars, they would get me to watch SmackDown. WWE would find a way to make me care about SmackDown without having to force John Cena on that brand. I feel putting John Cena on that brand does not help out, because I think Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, and even Dean Ambrose to some degree, still need help from John Cena, still need to learn what it's like to be main event ready and main event experience from a guy like John Cena. And I feel Cena being on that show with those guys can help out. I don't know if it would work out, but I'm just saying that's what I feel they need to do, because just forcing John Cena on SmackDown to make us care about SmackDown, I don't feel like that's the best option. I don't feel like it's the best option whatsoever. I feel like Cena going on to another show just because it's like, oh, bring some interest to the show. So what? So what? So you're still at it where Cena's still the face of the company? Like, you're not moving on from him. Like, people who like to say they're moving on from Cena, they're trying to force Reigns. Bullshit. If they put Cena on this show, they're making Cena the face of the company. Because, like, Weston told me that they do plan on bringing in another world title. Now, I don't know where he got a source from. He just said that.
Apparently, from what I've seen, it's supposed to look like the Winged Eagle, but in silver.
Yeah,
That'd be
so
nice.
they said they were going to bring in a new world title, and that they were going to decide that champion at Battleground. At Battleground. So let's keep this in mind here, guys. They're going to have a draft on Raw, have the first SmackDown live, and then to Battleground, we're going to get a world title match for the first ever guy who's going to be a world champion on SmackDown. And I don't care, Cena's going to be in that match, but I don't care if Cena loses. At the end of the day, we all know Cena's going to freaking get that belt anyways. It's still going to be the John Cena show. It's still going to be LOL, Cena wins on SmackDown. And that's why him being on SmackDown, I'm not a big fan of. And I'm not a fan of him being separated from Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins, because I feel like he still needs to help put over both of those guys to get those guys legit ready. Because those two right there, you can tell WWE is really putting the eggs in the basket on both of those guys. Like, just from writing, just from like their pushes as of late, you can just tell Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are their two dudes that they want to build for the future. But if Cena's on another brand and you just have it where he's just running SmackDown and stuff like that, and I don't care what fans say and stuff like that, it's just for star power. Star power, like I said, you guys claim AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn are such big deals, they can fucking carry SmackDown on their own. They don't need the help from John Cena. If you guys are going to go out there and say that to me, don't fucking say they need Cena on there for SmackDown for star power. Because apparently these three idiots are supposed to be stars. Apparently that's what I'm hearing from all of you. So if they're that big of a deal, they can carry SmackDown just fine. Okay, all I'm saying is this. No, can I finish, please? I'm not done yet. All I'm saying is, if you have Cena go on another brand, you are just pretty much creating another show where it's just two polarizing entities. Where it's just like, oh, they don't like Roman Reigns on Raw, they don't like Cena on SmackDown. You're just creating the same shit that we're watching. I know Draven G saying if Reigns and Cena are in the same brand, then you have two polarizing entities on the same show. That's a bit too much. Yeah, just imagine two brands with two polarizing entities being the faces of those brands, Draven G. I think that's a little bit too much. I think that's annoying.
Yeah. But again, we'll see though. We'll see as time goes on. Another thing though, I don't know if you guys saw this or not. WWE Shop have a new shirt up on their store. Is John Cena's hustle, loyalty, and respect? PBR, yeah, it's a parody. What's it called again? What's that brand called again?
Pabst Blue Ribbon, PBR.
What, the beer?
Yeah, Blue Ribbon. Yeah, it's a parody off of that. It's funny because, and I'm not gonna lie. Listen, to me, the shirt is not bad. Fuck, out of all the Cena shirts.
To be honest with you, I actually really like that one. It's
I would
probably one of
buy
my
that
favorites.
one and wear that in public.
It's actually one of my favorite shirts of his, to be honest with you.
Yeah, PBR shirt. Nice.
Yeah. It is funny because apparently, PBR wrote in response on Twitter regarding apparently something about apparently here you go, and I quote, A message to John Cena and at WWE. We have a chokehold called the cease and desist. Pretty sure we see you with the big middle finger emoji. LeBron can carry SmackDown by the angry mark. WWE TNA Talk writes, if Cena and Reigns is on the same show, is the Cena and Reigns show, and that's not good.
No, I disagree.
Dynasty 215. I don't know, Chase. I don't know, Chase. The next win for Cena is 16, so there's no shot at. It's not at SummerSlam or Mania. I mean, again, time will only tell. I mean, again, I think all of us right now are excited about the brand split. Some of us may not be. Some of us are wondering who's gonna go where. But again, I'm telling you right now, things are looking interesting right now.
This brand split's only gonna last probably a couple of years.
Probably so. I mean, listen, here's the thing about it. I'm excited for the brand split, but at the same time, though, I know how it's gonna end up. Don't be surprised in a year from now or two, you'll see Raw Super Show again.
Oh, no.
Raw Super Show, or the SmackDown guys come to Raw, and yay.
Please fuck no.
Remember? 2012, 2011, Raw Super Show.
Oh, no Super Show.
Oh, yeah. Just let that go. But I think with all that being said, I believe it's time now for Dave's Unappreciated segment.
We didn't even talk to him. Like Conor or Dave or you didn't even give really any thought on the brand split.
I mean, I did. I mean, I'm excited for it. But at the same time, it's
I
one of those.
don't want to take up too much time because I feel like this is probably going to be, and I'm not doing this as a shameless plug. I'm probably going to do a separate video about this on my channel just because there is a lot of depth and a lot of thought I've put into about this because there's so much crap. And I purposely waited on this because when the news broke, originally I just reported that SmackDown was going live, but then all this shit about the brand split and the draft and all that stuff. So I kind of waited. I figured until about today or tomorrow, and I think we've gotten just about enough information out of it. So I'm going to detail all the info, all the rumors that are going around on a video on my channel very, very soon. If not, probably tomorrow. I'll put it that way.
All right, there you go. But other than that, I mean, again, it's something very interesting to see. Interesting to see what happens now. With who goes to where, who stays where, and which teams will break up. And 34. Okay. Maybe so. Do you think they're holding off for Cena versus Roman? I know the match's going to happen. Do you think for 33?
Yeah.
You think 33 in Orlando? You think?
Yep.
What, Cena Roman?
Yeah, Cena in Roman's home city of Orlando, Florida. Cena gives him the rub. We see finally
I think Cena's going to get his third Royal Rumble win. And Roman's going to walk in with the title.
So you mean to tell me that. Do you guys think that Roman will hold on to the championship until WrestleMania?
No, he's not going to hold it. He's going to lose. He's going to lose at the fall time.
He's going to, before WrestleMania 33, he'll win the title at least 2 more times.
Bam, 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 bam.
One more time. He's going to win it one more time.
Oh, you know what's crazy, dude? I was there at Extreme Rules, and he got booed the fuck out of.
For real?
They're just a couple haters,
Nah, dude, it was
couple
brutal.
Haters.
Dude,
haters.
if you thought, listen, you want to know what fucking top that? 101,000.
Yeah.
760, whatever the fuck it was, I forgot already. That was brutal as well. That was brutal.
Steve, there was a small rumor about going into Money in the Bank for a women's Money in the Bank match.
They're not doing that. No.
I know they're not going to do it, but if they wanted major
Dave,
they would give the briefcase to Eva Marie.
They won't do that. They won't do
What?
that. In other news as well, I'm sure you guys heard about this. So TNA Impact Wrestling. The good news, if you will. So last week we talked about the possibility that they might be pulled from Pop TV. We did talk about that, right? We did talk about how Pop TV, in their latest press release, they pretty much did not mention no way, shape, or form about Impact Wrestling for the 2016-2017 schedule. So it turns out now that the president of Pop TV spoke, I believe, with SE Scoops. I'm trying to pop up the article here right now. With what happened here, and apparently the president of Pop TV spoke with SC Scoops, and they talked about TNA and how the president of Pop TV is getting along with Dixie Carter, and how he's praising TNA. And apparently they're not getting pulled. They're gonna talk about. Here's the article. I have it here right now. I have it here. All right, just to get that out of the way here. But it's good news, guys. It's good news. It goes to everyone out there who thinks that we don't talk good about TNA. All right. Mm-hmm. So pretty much, he says he feels that Impact Wrestling is the best wrestling product on television. From the characters and the in-ring action, it's amazing to watch. By the way, this was Schwartz said, Pop TV's release. This is okay. So Mike Johnson, PW Insider, did an interview with TNA Pop TV president Bradley Schwartz. Just keep that in mind. So this is pretty much some of the paraphrase, if you will. Apparently, the relationship with TNA is amazing. He loves the show and says that he has a great work relationship with Dixie Carter. Apparently, also the conversation shifted with TNA's future on the network, and many wrestling news sites picked up on the fact that Pop TV did not mention TNA during their recent upfront pitch to advertisers, leading to speculation that Impact was in jeopardy and being dropped. Schwartz said that Impact isn't going anywhere. It's the second highest rated show on the network, and he doesn't know of too many networks dumping their second highest rated show, and they have a long-term deal, and Impact will stay where it is for the foreseeable future.
Suck it.
So suck it, yeah, I guess so.
No, but so there was a couple things I kind of did and didn't like about this. Was number one, he kind of came out and straightforward said why they dropped the replay. So at least it was kind of like he wasn't like trying to completely BS us. But I feel like at the other stance, there was a couple of times where he was trying to BS us. I don't know. There was just something about his answers that he was giving. He's like, great question. Like, it just, it seemed a little iffy. There are certain things about it that seem just a little off, but I do give him at least the courage for like addressing everything straightforward to the most part. Some of his answers are so, but I feel like at least he addressed the replay stuff and like, it's like, hey, straightforward. We tried to expand the audience with little to no advertising and blah, blah, blah. And so I at least give him props and kudos for that so much. So,
Me too.
PR
Absolutely.
Fucking nightmare, but what are you gonna do?
Absolutely, of course. And again, it's good news for TNA.
He did a good job damage control, pretty much. Like, controlling the damage that TNA wasn't on that list. So a lot of people led to speculation. There's been times where networks have dropped their second highest rated show. It's like, that answer right there, it's kind of bullshit. So, like, you never know. Like, you can always find a show that can become your second highest rated show on your network and stuff like that. Didn't Spike TV get rid of TNA when they were pretty high on their ratings? So,
yeah, they were their highest. Like, weren't they the highest rating show on Spike?
Yes, they were the highest rated show on Spike.
Yep.
That's what does that tell you?
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, not everything you hear from him needs to be taken to truth.
Right.
Just because he has a good, like, you can have a good working relationship with someone, but doesn't mean that you necessarily agree with everything they're doing and stuff like that. So it was good damage control, so that way people knew that Impact Wrestling was still going to be around. But it was concerning that they did not put them on their featured list of shows and stuff like that, especially if it is their highest rated show on the network or their second highest rated show.
Right.
Exactly.
What's the highest rating? Schitt's Creek. They put the shit out of that on TNA.
I think it's actually I don't want to say it. I really don't want to say it.
Hitmasters?
Nope.
That 70s show?
Nope.
Let me guess. The OC.
Nope.
Because they got replays of that. I don't know. Leave It to Beaver.
Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives.
Oh, Days of Our Lives. Past or present TV with Days of Our Lives leading the way.
Yeah. So COH Network is a comment. Big shout out.
Is it new episodes or old episodes, Connor?
They're old.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
To the best of my knowledge, with the exception of Schitt's Creek,
who named
and
the
a
show
couple of other
Who the fuck
other
names
things.
the show Schitt's Creek though?
Dude, it's actually a really funny show. I'm not gonna lie.
They named it that with SCH to pull up the shit.
Not gonna lie, pretty funny show.
Reading the comment here from COH Network. By the way, shout out to them. By the way, the elite cough-fed in all cyberspace. Spike got rid of TNA because Dixie lied to them about Russo. So there you go.
think there's more reasons than that.
There's more. I'm sure. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's more.
That's not.
I
That
don't,
was
I don't
not.
think that's the main reason. Where
That,
it's like,
yeah,
oh,
that
like,
was not the main reason. If anything, from what I heard, that was the straw that broke the camel's back kind of deal. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's okay, guys. If you're late, it's okay, guys. Listen, at the end of the day, there's a reason for a playback. There's a reason why the show's on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play Music. In just a little bit, we'll be taking your live calls to hear from you guys. Dave stepped out for a bit, but when he comes back, we'll be doing the Unappreciated segment. That's Dave's segment on the show where he gives his thoughts on someone in the wrestling business, from any promotion, from any era that he feels unappreciated.
He stepped out because he felt unappreciated.
What happened?
Let's take some calls right now while we wait.
Well, again, you know how the calls go sometimes, but again.
Yeah, you can, but then we have those periods where it's like a long pause before we get another one.
At least take
So,
one quick.
like,
We'll take one.
Well,
Take one.
I'll tell you what.
quick call.
Yeah, we'll take one quick call, guys. If you want to call in real quick, 718-473-0813. Call in now, but just keep this in mind because we have other listeners as well on the show listening. They want to call in also. Be fair to those two. So, again, just be fair to others that want to call in.
There's a new question limit. You can only ask 2 questions. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
Just 2 questions if you want to
Just
ask.
because the amount of calls we get.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So if you want to call in now. Again, give us your thoughts and ask us anything you want to ask us. All right. So there you go. Also, we have a store over at Spreadshirt. That is the TEAMHEEL Podcast store. That's www.teamheelpodcast.spreadshirt.com, where you get numerous shirts from our store, such as the TEAMHEEL Podcast shirt, the Damn Dixie shirt, or the Good Guys Don't Last But Heels Do. We have a first caller here on the air. 201, you're on the air. What's up? What's your name? Where you from?
Hi, this is Travis from East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. How you doing, Steven?
Travis, what's up? Is it you, Mr. Sparks? Is it you?
This is Mr. Sparks.
From COH? What's up, Travis? How are you, buddy?
From Call of Honor Wrestling.
The elite Coffed in all cyberspace, by the way. The elite.
Elite.
All right. So what's up with you, man? How you been?
I've been all right. I've been listening to your show.
Awesome.
I want to get my quick thoughts on the draft.
All right.
To be honest, I am completely against it.
Okay. You're against the draft.
I am
why?
completely against the draft. I don't think this is going to work at all. They did it in 2002. It had its decent years. It was around 2005. They started being iffy with it. And before you know it, guys from SmackDown were on Raw. Raw guys on SmackDown. It didn't work. And during that time, Raw in 2003, which is really bad because of Triple H. And now you're putting all these pressure on these idiot writers today who can't even book a solid guy. They can't book AJ Styles half of their mid-card division. And now you're giving them the job to book a brand split? I think it's bad. I think it's a really bad business move.
I hear you, man. What are you going to say, Chase? I'm sorry.
Travis, this is why I'm negative towards the brand split. Like, everyone's like super positive. Oh, like I said, the only positive is SmackDown's going live. It's like,
exactly.
SmackDown can restart. But the rest, like, I agree with you. Like, can I really trust these writers who, on good authority, Cody Rhodes said the SmackDown head writer is too busy trying to hit on NXT developmental divas or women. So
I would be too.
Do I trust these people to really write two quality shows? This is why I was saying no, don't put Cena on the same brand, because we all know how the writing's gonna go. Or like put Cena on a different brand, because you already have it on one brand where you're focused on building up Roman Reigns, and then you're gonna have another brand where you're pretty much gonna get the same shit with Cena. How many fans are really gonna be that invested to it? I don't care how many awesome matches I'm going to see from Sami Zayn and Cesaro on a week-to-week basis or on a pay-per-view basis. Those matches mean absolutely nothing if the storylines and the characters are still going to be shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm with you on that, man, where it's just like, I don't feel like this is going to turn out well for the company. I feel like it's kind of like a knee-jerk reaction of, hey, we need something cool for these fans to talk about. Hey, we need some interest back in this company. Let's just do a brand split and let's see how it works out.
I kind of feel like they're choosing all their ideas out of a hat, and they just picked out brand split. Okay, let's do that.
I feel like at the same time, I think at the same time is a lot of laziness as well. Because there's so much, because you think about it, like we said, they have right now a crop of talent that's amazing. Mm-hmm. There's so much potential that you can do with. But instead, like
and they have no idea what to do with these guys.
Exactly. Exactly.
They can't book a fucking 3-hour Raw right.
Exactly.
And you know, you mentioned 3 hours. How is this going to work? So Raw's going to be 3 hours, and SmackDown's going to be 2?
That's
Yeah,
what I was actually.
Yeah.
So I was meant to mention that as well too. Is that in order for this to be treated on any sort of even fucking ground, Raw needs to go back to 2 hours. Because if you don't, then it fails before it begins.
I mean, because if you think about it, Raw's already bad enough with the full roster of guys like for 3 hours. Just imagine the brand split with 3 hours of guys. Like,
brand split.
Like, don't get me wrong. It's gonna be good that some of these undercard guys maybe get a chance to shine. But like Travis said, like Faith said, like we've said on this show right now, they can't write for these guys. So who's gonna really sit there and be invested in? Oh man, I can't wait to see Heath Slater versus Curtis Axel on Raw tonight.
That's gonna
I mean, they're already
amazing.
struggling now with the Raw. You know, with all the guys that are injured, I don't understand how this is gonna work or what they're gonna do. Personally, I would get rid of SmackDown as a whole because I think that shows you damaged goods and replace with NXT.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you want to do a brand split, if NXT is so big, like everyone tries to tell me it is, that NXT is so successful, why don't you pitch it to the USA Network and say, hey, this is what you want from a brand split?
So without getting into too much detail, again, another rumor, and again, take this for what it's worth, it's a rumor. Supposedly, WWE has at least pitched the idea of reducing Raw to 2 hours, with the first hour being NXT.
Not bad.
Ooh.
So 8 to 9 would be NXT programming. Not saying it would be live. I'm not saying it would be live there, but it would be an hour of programming that would be on from 8 to 9 leading into Monday Night Raw to help with that 3-hour content.
Okay, so kind of like the UK thing, kind of like what the UK
Kinda, yeah.
That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's going to
And
kill
I'll
the
tell you
network.
why.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because Raw and Vince do not want their NXT show to outshine their Raw show. If that happens, that's going to be a problem with them.
Well, the theory, I completely agree with you. Without getting into too much again, I think their theory is that the NXT product is so fucking hot right now that it'll entice people to tune in earlier, and then like, oh well, fuck it, Raw's on. I'm not saying that's the best business practice, but I think that that's kind of their mentality. And in some ways, I think it could be somewhat interesting. I'm not saying it's going to be the thing that's going to save.
It's the same formula they use for like some of the WrestleManias, like WrestleMania 21. They opened up with the ladder match. You know, that's something really good that gets everybody hyped and everything. And then you got the rest of WrestleMania if you don't like the rest.
Yep.
Travis, to add on to what you're saying about anti-draft, like you're anti-brand split and everything. The only thing I'm going to say is I think one reason why they are doing it, it's not just because they ran out of ideas. I think one reason they're doing it is because you have all this talent that everybody wants to see succeed, and they want to focus on Roman Reigns, so they're going to keep Roman Reigns on one show. And if they do this thing with 2 titles, then in a way they can give the people who the company may feel as lesser names. Like, I think having a second title is the only way Dean Ambrose is going to become a champion.
To me, again, that's bad business. Why would you focus building on one guy? Why can't you build 3? Look at New Japan. They have Tanahashi, Okada, Nakamura. 3 guys on top.
Well, now they have Tanahashi, Naito, and Dave and I speak.
I mean, this is before Nakamura left, but
yeah, now it's Naito, now it's Tanahashi and Okada.
The thing that I want to throw out there too is just that like I feel like with Raw they're trying to build it to be the Seth Rollins Roman Reigns type of show, because anyone who thinks that they're just trying to push Roman Reigns, it's ridiculous, because they're also trying to push Seth Rollins too, because Seth Rollins would not have walked out of WrestleMania as champion unless they believed with him. Seth Rollins would not have wrestled Brock Lesnar at Battleground unless they believed in it. And this is the nail in the coffin of how much they believe in Seth Rollins and stuff like that. He would not have wrestled Sting at Night of Champions if the company did not believe that they could do something with Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are their 2 guys that they're trying to build towards. But there's other guys on the roster that they should use to help support the supporting cast of Reigns and Rollins, because Reigns and Rollins are going to be your main acts for the next years to come. But they need a better supporting cast around them. And that's why I'm saying Cena needs to stay on that brand of Raw with those two guys, because he's going to be the guy that helps you buy into the fact that that Rollins and Reigns are the future, and make you kind of comfortable of the fact that, hey, maybe WWE is going in a better place with these two. Because the thing is with Cena, and why Roman Reigns' era is kind of going shitty right now, is because who has Roman Reigns really beat to make you feel comfortable that this is not going to be the same old LOL Cena wins bullshit? He hasn't beat anyone that makes you feel comfortable. It's always guys that you either like so much or guys who are good in-ring workers. If he goes on and he beats Cena clean, it gives fans a different perspective. It makes fans say, holy shit, maybe Roman Reigns isn't the next Cena. Or if he loses to Cena clean, which would be the most stupidest thing you could ever do, it kind of gives fans a little bit more breathing room and saying, oh, well, guess it's not the Roman Reigns show. It's still the LOL Cena wins show. Because think about this. When someone beats Cena clean, how much does that elevate that person's profile? Remember Kevin Owens? Kevin Owens came in. Kevin Owens is a great talent. He's a good talent. He beat Cena clean at Elimination Chamber. Everyone lost their shit. Everyone started to put Kevin Owens on a stature where they're saying, oh, he could face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He could face The Undertaker at Mania. He could do this. People still go off the fact that he beat Cena clean to legitimize how Kevin Owens is a big star. That's why I'm saying with Seth Rollins, yeah, he beat Cena at a SummerSlam, but really, to be honest, if you look at that series, Cena beat him in the series, and not only that, Seth Rollins needed help from fucking Jon Stewart, out of all people, to beat John Cena. Like, it's not like Seth Rollins had help from Kane or J&J or someone of that nature. It's like he had help from fucking some dude that does The Daily Show. How does that help Seth Rollins any? Like, no, it's just another way to protect Cena's bullshit. So that's why I'm saying with Cena, if you put him on SmackDown, you're pretty much doing what you do with the U.S. title opening, but just on a kind of bigger scale.
But Chase, for literally all those exact reasons that you listed for Cena, that's the exact reason they're going to keep him on SmackDown. That's literally the exact reasons why.
That's why I don't want it. I feel
I'm not disagreeing with you. I think it's dumb.
I think they need Seth Rollins to have big wins for him.
I think at the end of the day, no matter who goes where, Raw will still be the A show in the WWE.
Yeah, that'll always be the A show.
That'll be the A show. That'll be the A show. SmackDown will always be the bitch of the WWE. Again, go on, Dave. I'm sorry.
You know what? Chase, you're starting to convince me, and the reason why.
Oh shit! Starting to convince you. Oh my goodness. Should I call TMZ?
Yeah. Doesn't take much.
He's starting to convince me with this whole Cena theory of him staying on Raw with, like, let's say Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. If you do this, because looking back with how the brand split was when you had Triple H doing his reign of terror, and you had this all-star cast of guys from our past. They had Goldberg, Booker T, blah, blah, blah. And then you look at SmackDown. Now, it's really good that we have NXT and that they're going to do a lot of major call-ups. They're going to do even more call-ups than they already did. So if they do this, and by the time the draft happens, we're going to have Finn Balor. So I'm thinking that, like, if this is, NXT is supposed to be even though it's its own thing, to a degree, it's still a developmental brand. And it's just like, look at what they did back in the day for John Cena. They used SmackDown as a way to build this guy up into superstardom, and then the moment he went to Raw, people flipped. But it's just like, it's a way to set someone up for the big time. And so that's what they're going to have to do if they keep John Cena with the big dogs like Roman and Seth. So it's like, if you got someone coming in like Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, and they got Baron Corbin.
That's another thing I'm a little worried about too.
Yeah. You put all those guys on SmackDown, and then like you start to build them up as like SmackDown is going to represent the new generation or something. I don't know, but it's just like, okay. Here's a good way to put it. Travis, you do COH? I'm in COH.
Me too.
What's the big deal about Slam? The new era. The new generation.
Well, I'm the now generation, so that's a whole different.
Exactly. So you're battleground. I'm talking Slam. AJ Young, he's in the show. Pitches the new generation, and so like they try to make an emphasis on that brand, Whereas Battleground, our show, we have veterans from the show, and it's just like I know there's a few new names, but they're already established, and that's what I'm saying. It's just like have the established guys deliver those deliver something to help put over the guys who kind of are established but need something more. Roman Reigns needs that little bit more, and I'm starting to get what you're saying, Chase. He needs to be able to have those high quality matches that don't just feel predictable and handed to him. You know, he needs to beat John Cena clean. But if they do separate them, the only reason they're going to separate the two and have one on SmackDown and one on Raw is so they face each other at WrestleMania.
Which could very well be. I mean, unless they make a secondary title, and either the whole stupid process of, the winner has to choose which champion he's gonna face. I mean, I hope
that's what.
Which
Like,
that
would be
creates an
the only
intriguing.
reason. That'd be the only reason John Cena wins the Royal Rumble.
Remember when Taker won the Rumble? They had fucking Batista, they had fucking Bobby Lashley, and fucking and John Cena in the ring. And Taker had to make a choice, and that to me was hilarious.
Lashley, that could have been the main event.
Yeah, for ECW. Yeah, ECW.
Way to put ECW over.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. But Travis, do you have anything else for us, buddy? Anything else you want to add?
Nothing. Really nothing else to. Just want to mention. I just think the draft. I just think it's all just a bad idea. I don't know what it's going to mean for the future. If each show's going to have their own pay-per-views like they did before.
Yes. Now, Travis, I know. Go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, so I guess they're going to do like a Team Raw, Team SmackDown for Survivor Series again.
Probably for bragging rights too.
I mean, at least that makes Survivor Series valuable again. So at least there's that. I'm not saying the brand split's a whole total loss, but I think there's more cons than pros. But
indeed.
Don't get me wrong. This was 2011 when the Summer of Punk was going on. Yeah, brand split would be a good idea at that point. But this is 2016. 5 years. You know, last 2 years of the WWE, 14, 15, and now heading into in the middle of 16. You know, not really the best product that we've seen. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally agree with that. Well, I'll tell you what, Travis. Tell them where they can find you. And tell them where they can find COH, the elite cough fed in all cyberspace.
on YouTube.
COH, indeed.
On YouTube.
I believe you have a CPV coming up right now. A CPV coming up. That's a call pay-per-view.
Yes, it is. It's going to be up within a few days. Survival in the City 2, featuring, of course, HeelSteven. He's going to be defending his Internet Championship in an Elimination Chamber match.
Indeed.
First time ever Steven's ever been in this type of environment.
Yeah. Now we all know that. Listen,
he's screwed.
Now look here, Travis. Now this is Stephon Guerrero talking. Now you all know that. Yeah, you know that the global championship will go on live, but everyone knows the real main event is the Internet Championship of the world, not that same old division championship belt. I'm just saying. But anywho, Travis, thank you for calling in, buddy. We hope you call in soon again and enjoy. All right, buddy?
Oh, I'll be back. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, buddy. Take it easy, all right?
Talking to you again, Travis. It's been a while.
Indeed, it has. Now, Dave, now that you're here, it's time for your segment, The Unappreciated. You guys know how this works. So, Dave, take it away.
Okay, so before I give you a name, let me ask you guys a question. When you talk pro wrestling and MMA, what names come up?
Hornswoggle.
Brock Lesnar.
Cool.
Bobby Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
MMA here. We're talking MMA. We're talking mixed martial or combat sports, period.
We're talking about like pro wrestling and MMA together.
Ken Shamrock.
Now, who came before Ken Shamrock?
Dan Severn. Dan Severn.
Exactly, and that's who we got today, Dan Severn. He is someone who not only was like he was very dominant in the early days of UFC, and they wanted to bring that into pro wrestling when he came into WWF. But this guy also did a whole lot of stuff in NWA. Like, he was very dominant, and there were two main things that happened. Excuse me, when he was doing his run in WWF, and for all those listening. If you don't know the name Dan Severn,
Dan the Beast
tonight you got some homework. So check out some matches if you can. He didn't really do a whole lot in WWF, but they wanted to start a feud between him and Ken Shamrock. And the idea backstage, at least from what I've read, was that like some they had guys like Bret Hart. He was really strong on Ken Shamrock, and he wanted to originally drop the belt to Shamrock. But another thing that he was very strong on was Dan's. Is it Severn or Severn or
Severn? Severn. Dan
yeah,
DeVries
Severn.
Severn.
I'm sorry, I keep having my moments, but they wanted to have a feud between Ken and Dan, and it only like just started, and then like it got cut. And I think that like when I personally I haven't seen a whole lot of them, but to know that this guy did a whole lot, he was a big time dude. They always played it up with their MMA history, and the fact that this guy was like he didn't just win one title. This guy was a person winning tournaments. He was all over like UFC, Pride FC, King of the Cage, Cage Rage, stuff like that. So this guy is very successful in the MMA world, and to make that transition, and it's just like that kind of started a little something in regards to and started this evolution. First, you got him, you got Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock was high on the he got approval from Bret Hart. He wanted to drop the title to him over Shawn Michaels. Ken Shamrock.
I just want to say, hold on, Dave. I just want to say one thing. On the screen, everything says "Do not call in yet." Once this goes away, you guys can start calling in.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. So, Dave, as you are.
No, I'm just saying, it's just like, look at the evolution of the transition of MMA fighters into pro wrestling. So we start with Dan Severn, then you work away with Ken Shamrock, who came in around the same time. But then from there, we take a small break, and we don't have a big name MMA guy. And it kind of goes the other way around, where now our focus was on amateur wrestling coming into pro wrestling. Like, people really cared about that. And right when you thought someone like Ken Shamrock should get the belt, in comes Kurt Angle. And then from there, the rest is history. It's just like, he kind of just doesn't get his just desserts. This is someone who probably could have been something if the fight game was as big as it was today. You
gotta understand this too about Dan Severn. He got into pro wrestling at a very old age. You gotta understand that too. He comes from an era of MMA where everything was legal almost. Like, I remember back in the early days of the UFC, blow was fucking legal. Biting was legal. Choking, you know what I mean? Like, putting your hand on someone's face was legal. You know what I mean? So you gotta understand, he comes from that type of era, and at the time as well, his age, he got into pro wrestling. I think he was the NWA champion and all that. But
he was.
At the same time, though, I mean, he wasn't someone that I thought of. Okay, he could be a WWE champion now.
I don't think about it like that. It's just like when you look about the evolution of the relationship between MMA and pro wrestling. Yeah. It's just like this would be considered one of your founding fathers of someone making that transition. And it's like he gets overlooked by Ken Shamrock. That's all. You do a lot in one business, you make an impact, and then you come into another hoping to get some type of hype or whatever, and you don't get it. It's not as much as like Shamrock got. But the question being, despite his age, do you think he deserved like something big? Like they could have hyped up a big fight for a pay-per-view or something. What do you think?
I mean, could be, but I mean, you're not gonna do like Dan Severn versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're not gonna do
no.
Versus...
Like.
No, but
do you think the Severn Shamrock feud would have went in like they could have ended up doing that at Mania?
Nah, not really. You think about it. Their kind of feud that they had, I guess back in the Attitude Era, it was a feud that I just don't think could have been done at WrestleMania. Like, you're gonna do an MMA exhibition fight at WrestleMania at that time period. I didn't think they were gonna do it. I think that's what they did the Brawl for all, right? Like, they did the whole Brawl for all.
Speaking of
which, I think he still wrestles today and he fights today. Does he, Chase? Does Severn still fight today?
He's a former pro wrestler.
Yeah, I think he fought like recently, actually. Not like too recently, but like almost age. Like the end of last year.
Bless his age. Bless them. But I mean, it could be. I think at the same time, it could be. What do you guys think, though? What do you guys think?
I mean, kind of to your point, I think he should have deserved a little something, but yeah, at the same time, it's like his age. you know, yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about that one, to be honest with you. I'm not saying he's undeserving, but I think unappreciated to some extent.
Yeah,
Okay.
to some
I think
extent, yes.
he's more of an MMA fighter. Like he's more underappreciated from the MMA community than really the wrestling community.
Yeah, it's
Aspect of
not
it.
so much. Yeah, I wanted to just emphasize more on the relationship between the two, and it's just like I mean, everybody knew who Brock Lesnar. Oh, I mean, nobody knew who Brock Lesnar was when he came right into WWE, but when he went right into UFC, everybody knew who he was. And so when he came back, there was even more of a fan base. He was even more of a badass because he won the UFC title. People knew who Ken Shamrock was right when he came in because of UFC.
I mean,
And it's like,
but we'll put Shamrock on the map though. That he fought Hoist Gracie. That
Sure.
was the thing that put him on the map. He fought Gracie at UFC 1 at a time where, okay, Gracie was submitting the fuck out of people left and right, guys that were bigger than him. And here was Shamrock with the wrestling background, this fighter. Hey, there's hope. This guy can beat Gracie. But now it all makes sense by In the Rope Show. Angry Mark writes, I disagree with Dave. He's horrible at his segment. I mean, that's your opinion, I guess, but that's just around the point. DJ Khaled by Ali Palomino. We the best music. My accordance,
one.
Severn still wrestles face today. How about you guys talk about the AD lost $24 million?
what?
Anthony
Anthony
Davis. He
Davis,
lost
he
$25 million because he didn't make the All NBA team.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
I mean,
Damian Lillard, Dame Dollar.
Yeah, he got 20.
No, he got 12 million.
No,
Yeah.
12. Wow.
Yeah, because it's based on your draft pick and stuff like that. It's a Derrick Rose rule. So if you sign like an extension from your team and stuff like that, a 5-year extension, you're still on your rookie deal for the first year, but you get an added kicker boost if you make 2 All-Star teams. Get voted for to start in 2 All-Star teams, get All NBA recognition, or win the MVP. Which Anthony Davis was not going to do 2 out of 3, but you thought he was going to at least make All NBA because he's always like a stat sheet stuffer.
The injuries.
exactly. But I mean, again, guys, in the comment, let us know. Do you feel Dan Severn was unappreciated? Let us know, and we'll see. All right, it's about that time now. Let's take some live calls here. All right. Again, guys, when you call in, be fair to everyone else, because I know a lot of people want to call in right now. So be fair. All right. We're not saying that you can be on for a while, but again, just be fair to others. Just 2 questions and that's it. That's how we're doing it today. That's how we're doing it. 2 questions and that's pretty much it. All right. But when someone's calling in, remember, don't call in while someone's calling in. That's all I'm gonna say as well. So if you want to call in, the phone lines are open, 718-473-0813, like you see on the screen. All right. But I gotta say, I mean, this week though, Memorial Day weekend's coming up. I'll be working most likely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go. 903, what's up? Who's this?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Steven. It's your favorite Mark, the Angry Mark.
Okay. So what's up, man? What's your question, brother?
Oh, well, I have to do my segment, so since we have to hurry up, I'm going to get out of the way. My overappreciated wrestler is Bret Hart.
All right, that's terrific. Okay, but what's your question, buddy? What's your question?
You're not going to give your thoughts on Bret Hart.
I mean, Bret. I mean, shit.
It's
I mean,
Bret Hart.
Bret
That's a
Hart.
reach right there. That's a reach.
Yeah,
Major reach.
major reach.
Okay.
I mean, he got to understand this with Bret Hart. Was his mic skills shit? Yes.
Yes.
Great performer? Yes. Could he tell a story? Yes. Is he believable with the way he sells? Yes. That's all you could pretty much say. But I think we can all agree on that, right? All of us here on the panel, we can all agree on that. Dave,
Yeah.
Connor, Chase, Walter. But
Yes.
but Weston though, what's your question though? What are your questions?
I was just going to explain that, Bret Hart was a good technician in the ring and all that, but I just feel like Bret would not be Bret without Shawn Michaels. And I guess you could say the same thing, but you know what I
What?
mean. It's just,
I mean,
What do the words Heart Foundation mean anything to you?
the what?
the words Heart Foundation, does that mean anything to you?
Well, yeah, I know the Hart Foundation is very huge for wrestling, but
Then
Yeah,
You got-
that doesn't really prove why Brent is like, like overappreciated.
all right. But anywho,
Okay.
Dave. But anywho, Weston, your questions though. Do you have any questions for us though?
My question is, do you think that they should do like the way they should do their draft is where like the NXT guys, right? Everything still remains the same, it's on the network, but do you think the way they should do the draft is more? They should do it more like a sports event, right? Where the prospects are sitting in the back, right, watching the screen or whatever. And let's just say Dean, right? He's wrestling for SmackDown and he wins the match against the Raw opponent. And Dean Ambrose gets SmackDown that first pick of the draft. And then
That's not going to work. That's not going to work because this is there was such a time gap that there aren't exclusive. In order for that to happen, you have to have 2 exclusive rosters already, and that's why they later on would wrestle for draft picks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. After they split up.
Maybe the next year's draft. Here's the thing about it though, Weston. I don't think you understand. Who's to say they'll do another draft pick in a year from now?
Well, they could always do that. Like, I don't think Weston's idea is not far from the truth, because like you could have where Shane's like, well, I'm going to choose for Raw, Roman Reigns, and Stephanie be like, that's cute, Shane. I'm going to choose John Cena. Well, you know what we could do is we can have a match, not between Roman Reigns and John Cena, but we can have a match, and then Shane makes a match, and then those people get drafted to that brand or whatever. They get to choose their pick. Like, it's not like, I know what you said, Dave, was like, that's not going to happen. Like, it can happen. It's
It
like,
could happen,
when you
but-
said it, act like they won't do that, which I was like, whoa, dog.
They could do that. Don't get me wrong. I just think a more maybe because of like the whole fact that they're being competitive. They're supposed to be Stephanie and Shane, and also for shock value is they do the draft, but they add the stipulation at the end of the draft that each brand gets 3 trades from a time span of the night of the draft till the Royal Rumble, till before the Royal Rumble match.
No, why would you trade? You're trying to establish these brands. Like, oh, god damn.
Because
All right.
No.
We're trying to establish these brands. No trades. No trades for a fucking whole year and a half.
Exactly. Yeah. Weston, what's your second question, buddy? What else you got for us, man?
Oh, Steven, you want me out of here quick today. All right.
No, I'm just saying, like, you may have
more calls. Oh my god, like.
Yeah, we're trying to get 2 more calls today, dude. That's the thing about it, dude.
I know. I'll get it out of the way. I've only been on for 5 minutes, but yeah. My second question is, would you like, so would you like for there, like to be like separate titles or just one title apiece? Like, do you think the World Heavyweight title should be treated, I guess, like the NBA Finals, where like there's only one way to say you've won it all? You know what I mean? Don't know how to explain it, but I feel where I'm going with this.
Like the WWE World Heavyweight title stays on both brand, the women's title on one brand. That's on both brand.
SmackDown versus Raw will be treated like, kind of like, I guess you could say a tournament type of thing, right? And once you reach the finals, right, then you get to face the champion, and then if you beat the champion, you win the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like,
it could be. Go on. I'm sorry.
In other words, what I'm trying to say is that I was against it at first, but I think it would be very special for there to only be, one title for each division.
I mean, I guess, they could do the World Heavyweight title on both brands. Mm-hmm. I guess you could do that. I guarantee you, though, that the U.S. title, Intercontinental title, one will be on Raw, one will be on SmackDown.
I heard also rumors that like the tag division might stay on Raw, and that's going to be the tag team show, and then SmackDown is just going to be women's. Which I think is a terrible idea, by the way.
But yeah.
Do you think you guys think they might, because of the cruiserweight tournament they're doing in Florida, they might bring that belt back?
They're not bringing that.
Here's the thing: if they bring back the cruiserweight title, it is so fucking stupid. Because here's the thing: most of the guys in your main event are cruiserweights. So you're telling me that there needs to be a separate division? Like, you're pretty much just saying AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens can fight in the cruiserweight division based on weight rules and stuff like that. If he just shed some pounds, you're pretty much saying that these guys are just cruiserweights fighting for the world title. It just devalues the cruiserweight division. Like it just devalues the cruiserweight division, and it devalues your world title division. Because let's just say you're watching a world title match and it's AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn, and they weigh as much as a cruiserweight champion, like say Ricochet or Zack Sabre Jr. That doesn't that make your cruiserweight like that? Wouldn't that make you question a little bit? Like, why is there a cruiserweight division if these guys are the same weight as the cruiserweights?
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what, so we're going to take some more calls, dude. Thank you for calling in, all right, buddy?
You're welcome, guys. Good night and peace.
All right, peace. All right, that was Weston, guys. You want to check him out. He has a YouTube channel called The Angry Mark. He's a Mark that's angry. Hey,
By the way,
oh,
good.
Go on. I'm bad.
I was going to say, real quick, I want to give it a quick little butt plug. Since we were just talking about the COH, what is it, Call of Honor?
Yeah.
Call of Honor. So I literally just dropped while we were on here. It was just taking forever to fucking load. But the newest episode of OK Fabe taking over ECW in Universe mode. The tournament to crown the new world champion, or the first world champion in this new era, has launched. The third matchup of the first round is CM Punk against Sabu. And that match just dropped over at the channel just earlier. So.
All right. All right, guys, you want to call in, guys, 718-473-0813. Call in now. Let your voice be heard. Let's see what you guys want to ask us, and let's hear. But other than that, though, I mean, again, guys, Memorial Day weekend's coming up. All the barbecues, all the beer.
Oh, yeah.
Chase, you hear about this whole thing, though, with Conor McGregor and Mayweather, though? You hear about it?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's all smokescreen crap. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I hear you.
If it happens, like which way do you want to see it? In a boxing ring or MMA?
It's going to be in a boxing ring. Floyd controls this. Conor McGregor has no power over Floyd Mayweather. I don't care how, like what Conor says, how big of a draw he thinks he is. He's only in a draw because the UFC made him a draw. Floyd Mayweather made himself into a star. And the difference between Mayweather and Mayweather can go take a shit in the woods and people will report on it. Conor McGregor does it, they wouldn't care.
It's just a shit.
That's the thing. Like, not everything in Conor McGregor's life is reported like it is with Floyd Mayweather. Like, Floyd Mayweather gets reported about everything he does. Conor McGregor's just a great character in MMA that happened to win a world title. He did what Chael Sonnen couldn't do and actually win something. But the problem is, if he, like, this fight is just dependent on Floyd Mayweather if he wants it. Floyd Mayweather doesn't need Conor McGregor. Floyd Mayweather just wants another paycheck, if anything else.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
He can get paid fighting anyone, like $10 million to fight anyone. He just wants a big paycheck, so that way he can just like fucking be able to pay how many children he has throughout the rest of their lives. You know, he's that rich. He's that financially secure. So
617, you're on the air. Who's this?
What?
You ended calling them.
Did I really? Shit.
Yeah. What? Get Steven. But anyways, like I said, Mayweather doesn't need.
Frick.
Yeah, Mayweather doesn't need.
I'm calling them back. We're calling them back. We're calling them back. 617.
I think I know who that is.
The fuck is this shit?
Gunfire! Everyone get down now!
Get down, fuckers, get down! Who's this?
I think I know that.
That's what I'm hearing.
That
was bad.
617's up near my neck of the woods.
Guys, if they stick with the one belt policy, like instead of doing two belts, if they stick with one, do you think they should bring back King of the Ring?
Please leave a message and we'll call you back. Thank you.
All right,
we should have left a message.
Yeah, dude,
Yes, we should.
Fine. All right, we'll call again. We'll call
No,
again.
we're not gonna call again. Let someone else call in.
Fine. Then.
Yeah.
All right then.
Hi.
All right.
Fuck it.
Let someone else call in now. Want to call in now? 718-473-0813.
Take another 2 calls or so.
Take another couple calls or so, then we'll wrap up the show. I want to say though, real quick, I want to give a big thank you to last week's show, Anthony Missionary Thomas, the host of Wrestling Soup.
Guys,
Saturday morning shitbox. Was a guest last week. Great show that we did. Again, the guy's the man. Amazing.
Dude did the sound bite and everything for you, man. That was cool.
Which Steven didn't use this week, I'm assuming.
Nah. I mean, I'm not gonna overuse it though. Come on. But anyway, again, cool guy, fucking cool. It's one of those things where God, I was just lost for words here.
Hey, it's a step forward, man. Who knows what's next? Maybe next time an actual wrestler. We're working
listen.
on it.
Again, we're working on that. Again, it all depends.
Sorry, Dave. I know you meant well in that statement, but like,
It can happen.
I know you mean well by that statement. For some reason, that just it just kind of made me go like, who knows? Maybe then we'll get an actual wrestler this time.
Could be.
Like,
so.
I know you meant well, and I'm just busting Steven's balls, but just the way you said it just kind of made me laugh. So.
617, you're on the air.
All right, round 2.
Hello,
Leave message.
hello, who's this? 617, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up? Is this the Team Heel Podcast?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is? Hey, my name is Carson. I'm not sure if you know me or I'm Chase. I've spoken to Chase Oliver before.
Carson, okay.
What's up, Carson?
Carson, yeah.
Carson.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, what's up? So I just want to give my quick thoughts on the brand split, really.
Okay.
Just kind of, pretty much. I just kind of think really it's kind of pointless really to bring it back. There was really no point to bringing it back. Really, it's just that for me really what's the whole point? What's the whole point of bringing back the show? Really, if yeah, sorry, this is my first time really, guys. Sorry.
Dude, it's okay, dude. Listen, dude, just don't be, dude.
Carson, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from?
He's from Massachusetts. He's one of my.
From Carson.
He's one of the what's it called? He's in the running. I'm having the Chase Oliver ESPYs for the 2000 for the Q&A because the ESPYs. Yeah, well, because the ESPYs are in the middle of June, so I'm going to be counterculture and have my year award show as well. So if the sports awards can be in the middle of June, my show can be in the middle of June too. And he's in the running for one of the MVP of asking questions because he always asks questions every week on the Q&A for the most part.
So, dude, again, don't be shy, dude. Relax. Again, we're just wrestling fans here.
There's literally
there's no pressure. No pressure.
There's no real people here either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Deep breaths.
We're all here in a virtual studio, in the virtual booth, if you will.
Speak for yourself. I'm in a fucking corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on a bed.
Alrighty,
So,
you're in the bed, you're in the corner. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not for this brand split really because WWE pretty much did state that this is supposed to be a new era and something like that really, and yet they're going back to stuff back in the wrestling era, which doesn't make sense really to me. To be honest, really. Yeah, and also really the roster really when you think about it they're all talented guys really and but there's really no star power really I'm not sure if I understand really. I'm sorry.
I hear what you're saying, Connor. I really do. I just I think that doing the brand split, it allows more opportunities for some people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It gives opportunity to
that's
shine.
The only pro.
Yeah, it gives people opportunity to shine. People that, let's face it, we might have never given 5 minutes worth of view. Who's to say they go to SmackDown and they become a big deal? Who to say that on SmackDown Zack Ryder gets gets revived, if you will?
Yeah, pretty much.
That ain't happening.
That's not happening, I know.
I just wanted to know really, but I just wanted to talk about it really because really I just think it's pointless really to bring it back really. They should just they should pretty much just get rid of SmackDown really and just bring up NXT. That's for me really.
Okay, I mean, listen, that could work too. I mean, listen, we said it before. To me, SmackDown is the bitch of the WWE. No matter what happens, Raw will always be the A show. Raw will be will always be the longest weekly episodic show in television history, per Michael Cole.
I hate you so much more for you that you said that.
All right, Michael. Come on, Michael. I mean, I'm sure. Listen, I'm not a coal miner by no means whatsoever. Shut up, Byron. But look here, though. It's time, though, for the determination of Roman. I'm just imitating Byron Saxton to the best of my abilities here. But in that, I mean, let me ask you a question, dude. Who do you see will go to SmackDown, in your opinion, based off the draft?
Probably Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
Okay. KO.
I was thinking, Pac, Adrian Neville, that guy. Some of the NXT, like pretty much all the NXT guys I see going to SmackDown, really. Like, and pretty much all the main guys like Roman Reigns and John Cena and Seth Rollins will be on Raw. That's
all right.
I think, really. Yeah, pretty much. It's just gonna be like, I just think that SmackDown is gonna be like, it's gonna be like, gonna be more like, more indies, really.
Do you think so? Like, it'll be Ring of Honor on a higher budget, like NXT is technically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I think, really. But
I hear you, dude. I hear you.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, dude. I thank you for calling in, dude. I hope you call in next again. And again, just hope you enjoy the show, and just call in. Once again when we go live again. All right, buddy. Thank you for calling in. All right.
Thanks.
Take it easy, buddy. Take it easy. That was Carson from Massachusetts, guys. Again, it's cool to be getting new callers in. I'm sorry?
Larson. He has an L in his name.
Clarson. I'm sorry. Clarson. I said Carson. My apologies. I apologize. Clarson from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts represent.
Yay. Represent,
Yeah, Conor, I have a bunch of Massachusetts people on the Q&A. It's him. He's like friends with two girls, and they all like comment on the Q&A.
Yeah. So I tell you what, guys. Again, the lines are open again. 718-473-0813. We'll take a couple more calls, and then we'll wrap up the show here. We'll probably wrap up before 12:30. How about that? Okay. But before 12:30, we'll wrap up the show here, and yeah. God dang, I get new headphones too while I'm at it. But anywho, guys, if you again call in now, 718-473. Here we go. We got a call. I think I know who this is here, guys. It's the myth, the legend, the OG, triple OG, Mr. MC. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Oh yeah, how you doing, MC?
I said I'm doing great. Doing okay. How about you?
We're doing fantastic, man. Are you excited, dude? Are you excited for the brand split, dude? Are you excited for SmackDown going live on Tuesday nights?
I don't really watch SmackDown anymore. I just fast forward through it, and that's it. So, no, not really excited at all, to be honest. The whole brand. Yeah, let's go with that. I don't really have. I'm kind of torn myself on the brand split. On one hand, it's fine, I suppose, but they did it last time, and it worked for a little while, and then they just lost interest in it, and then it ended up just being null and void, and we just went back to everybody appearing on every show, and that was just kind of stupid. It was just like, okay, what was the point of splitting them in the first place then, if you weren't going to do anything with them? And they did it again. They did it quite a few times, and it was just, they never really paid much attention to it after a while. They would lose interest in it frequently. So the thing I'm really just not too fond of is when I'm hearing that they're going to bring back another world title for SmackDown and everything. I think that's terrible. Like, terrible idea.
I know they should do. Seriously. What they should do is...
What?
All right, so back in 2005, they're supposed to debut a SmackDown title. Remember that? And they had JBL.
Oh, yeah.
They had that four-way. And Teddy Long came out with the bag, right? They see that the belt was there. Like, you know what? There's no need now for a SmackDown champion play because SmackDown just hit the jackpot. And out came Batista. So I say they try to find that SmackDown title, and there you go.
Dude, see, we all know that was like a replica world title that they just had in the bag.
You never know.
It
They
was
never
supposed to
make
have a
those.
white strap or something.
Probably on a white strap, maybe a blue strap, maybe a light blue strap, maybe a lavender strap.
I wouldn't mind the white strap, to be honest with you.
White strap, maybe have a little blue and gold. And
I don't know, because wouldn't that get fans confused if you have a white strap, because then later on the Divas title also has a white strap?
The
And
white
the,
strap is
Intercontinental.
yeah.
The white
much
strap
white.
just opens them up. To,
Maybe give it a different strap, like a gray strap or something. I don't know, but
Maybe like a
the white
dark
strap
blue.
just-
yeah, that could.
The white strap just opens them up to a lot of controversy and unneeded criticism from the fashion police, who can be quite downright brutal at times. So, not a good idea to mess with those guys. It never ends well.
All right. But Corbin, what do you got for us, dude? What question you got for? What do you want to ask us, man?
I didn't have any questions. I wanted to just kind of talk about the brand split, but I suppose I do have one question. Is anybody here a fan of them actually with the brand split, or is anybody here actually in favor of them having 2 world titles?
Yes.
Hey, there you go. You got a question for us, dude. There you go, MC.
That's a tough one. I mean, I'll put it this way. Go ahead, sorry, Mike.
Me personally, I'm not in favor of it because I think that you have a world champion that should be the champion, the guy. No pun intended, or any reference to Reigns, but that's the champion. That's your guy. That's the quote unquote face of your company. So that guy should be, in theory, be pulling double duty, and then just defending the title on each show, or they can have something where it's like, well, it has to be defended on, whatever brand he ends up on. Like, it has to be defended on both shows at least once a month, or however much time, whatever they want to do. I don't think they should be 2 world titles, because it's just, it instantly, if you make 2 world titles, and both of them are instantly devalued, and we don't know which title the WWE actually even, it considers important. It's the one that, has been held by Bruno Sammartino, Hogan, Austin, Rock, etc. The big gold one they had when, they bought that from WCW, treated like shit outright. I mean, it wasn't not too much, but, unless it was being held by Triple H or a few other people who were, one of the chosen few who actually got to hold that belt, and not as much dumbasses with it, but it's just stupid. My thing, I think they should just go you should have the world champion, the tag champions, and then the women's champion, just
be available.
Not on any specific. They should have those people not on any on brands specifically. Just defend the belts on both brands, and then whenever you lose the title, you end up on whatever brand that you lose, the title to. So
you're implying that they keep the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title both on Raw and SmackDown. You wouldn't consider keeping, let's say for shits and giggles, the Intercontinental title on Raw and the U.S. title on SmackDown. Because let's face it, we all know WWE could care less about the U.S. title because it's not a WWE made belt.
Right.
So you would consider keeping that belt on the bitch of the WWE that is SmackDown, aka the B show, even if it's live on Tuesday nights now?
Doesn't matter what show they keep it on. I don't really have much faith in the company to do anything with even the title that they consider to be, one of their own titles, the Intercontinental Championship. So, they can't even do anything with that one, right? What's reason would I have to believe that they would care about the U.S. title, despite it not being a WWE belt, despite it not being actually tied to despite it not being tied to the company, because it didn't originate with, WWE or Capital Wrestling Corporation. My thing is that you should just have, like I said before, the tag, the women's, and the world champions defend the belts on both shows and pay-per-views, and the IC and U.S. titles can just stay on whatever brand they decide to have them on, and then you go from there. But you were saying, Conor, before I interrupted you?
I guess he had to step out for a bit.
I was
okay.
I just was thinking about, like, if they do the one title type of routine that are defended on,
through both brands of pay-per-views, like, would that cause a lot more interpromotional matches for number one contenderships, or would it be like a routine type of thing where, like, let's say the champion is on Raw and they got to take on someone on Raw, but then a number one contendership match happens between two SmackDown guys at the pay-per-view?
Yeah, that's a little perplexing, and this is the only reason I'm in agreement. That's the only reason I'm in agreement for 2 world titles, and I hate saying that, but it's the only reason why I like it is because in theory, they're gonna appear on both shows anyway. At least that's what I think they would do.
The titles will,
but so that's so confusing. That's like, okay, so I'm gonna have Roman's gonna feud with this guy on Raw, but then he's gonna go to SmackDown like it never happened, and then he goes back.
Corvin, I'll tell you what, dude. We're gonna take some more calls, all right, Corvin?
All right, no problem.
Thanks, Mike. You're the man, Mike.
You're the man, Mike. You're the
No
man,
problem.
MC.
Take care, guys.
All right, MC.
Take care, man.
Got a caller right here. We have a caller here right now, 939. 939, you're on the air. What's your name? Where you from?
Hi guys, my name's Rich Hardy. I called in Extreme Rules review.
Hey, what's up, buddy? You're Edge Hardy, right?
Yeah, Ed Rich Hardy. What's up, guys? Listen, so are you guys in favor? I'm sorry, I just got here 10 minutes ago. So you guys are in favor brand split, right?
I mean, some are, some not.
It's a
it's a
bittersweet
combination.
pill.
Put it this
It's
way.
a bittersweet pill.
The way we look, the way I look at it, and I've said this earlier, no matter what happens, yes, SmackDown's live, great, but everyone fucking knows. At the end of the day, SmackDown, Raw is the A show. It will always be the A show. SmackDown, to quote Paul Heyman, is the bitch of the WWE. Walter, we can agree on that, right, Walter?
Of course, SmackDown's always gonna be the B show.
Alrighty.
No matter who's in it. So.
Yeah, but what's up with you though, bro? How you been, man? How you been?
I've been doing good here, but I do listen. I am a fan of the brand split, but I do not think at this time I don't think it was the perfect time to bring the brand split now. I do think that they should have waited later on because am I supposed to get excited about a second brand show when they can't even write their main show called Monday Night Raw? Let's be honest. Are we happy with the product every damn week we tune in? It's we rarely get that, and it just sucks. But how are we supposed to deal with that? If they want to split brands and they want to take it to a different level here, and also the idea of bringing 2 world titles, which I understand the second world title would be great for the other talent, to push these other guys and have 2 main guys. But for me, that doesn't only devalue 1 world title, but it also devalues the Intercontinental title, which is the second important title of the damn company. And that's just my opinion, but I don't know.
To be fair, they've kind of flip-flop on the Intercontinental Championship as far as the value. I mean, I completely agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. My point is just that they can't fucking make up their mind which title is more important. That's so.
Exactly. It depends. Only when for example, when Cena held the U.S. title, that belt main evented Raw every fucking week, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you had Kalisto hold the belt,
that they ruined it.
When you had Kalisto hold the belt, he was the pre-show, the pre-show guy, pre-show champion.
It's all about the pre-show, man.
And then when now we have Rusev back, guess what's gonna happen? Literally this coming Monday. Burp, 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 burp. Maybe so.
Memorial Day. That's an instant title change.
It's funny. I will say this. I've never. I love hearing.
I think they're gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I love hearing Mauro Ranallo getting excited about this.
Mamma mia!
John Cena.
I think Rusev is gonna keep it because Titus O'Neil is apparently challenging for it. So.
Wait.
What?
Darren Young because they gotta make it great again.
Titus
and he's got Bob Backlund.
Yeah, on SmackDown, he came out. If you guys want to see it, I don't know. So.
Damn, that's what I'm missing on SmackDown.
Well,
yeah, Walter,
I read the spoilers, so that's what I do.
Walter, yes, you're missing SmackDown. What's gonna happen is Titus gonna shove Lana or grab Lana or push her.
No, he's gonna finish Lana because that's how they've been building him on TV lately during commercials. He finishes everything.
Yeah, he's gonna
Sentences.
finish.
Oh, okay.
Pictures.
Machka. Rusev
Set.
Machka.
Titus O'Neil gonna Mashka Rusev's, that fiance of hers.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, man. But what else you got for buddy?
I don't think Cena is gonna get that title because if they right now, especially like with the brand split, I do think that they're gonna make John Cena go to SmackDown and bring back the second world title, and he's gonna hold that title. That's what I think they're gonna do. I'm not gonna like it, but it's what I think is gonna happen, especially with now Titus O'Neil challenging for the U.S. belt. So there's that.
I mean, if they put the title on him, then it's just gonna it's gonna be good when someone, because if they separate him from Roman Reigns, the only benefit is it's we'll get to see somebody like Kevin Owens or maybe AJ Styles or who knows, maybe even Cesaro or Dean Ambrose will be the guy to beat John Cena for a world title. That'll be a moment.
If they don't grab him the shovel.
Cesaro beating Cena?
I don't know. I'm just saying. It's just when I look at, you guys were saying SmackDown's like the bitch of the WWE brands. It's not the bastard son like WWE CW was, but it's the bitch. And it's just when you got that, then it's just the guys who aren't gonna get the promotion in life, they're still gonna get the gold watch for participating for so long. And so that's what a world title is on SmackDown. It's the gold watch. So that's where you send Dean Ambrose. That's where you send Cesaro. Because if they're going to win a championship, there is no way they're going to beat the new hot shit guy that they want to push down your throat like Roman Reigns. They're going to go to SmackDown. And thankfully, John Cena...
David, help if you wouldn't use the word shit, dude. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm sorry. It's just... I don't like the fact that they're not equal, and it's just back in the day, even though they weren't equals, for quite a while, SmackDown blew Raw out the water.
Because it was a different time period, different writing.
It was.
It was Paul Heyman running the show. Now
Sure,
you have all these. Now you have all these writers, all these
Hollywood writers,
the Hollywood
these
writers,
dumb fuck writers.
Yeah,
I would rather
hashtag dumb fuck writers.
The novella writers.
The novella writers.
I would rather.
You have the Univision writers, the General Hospital writers, people that have no business writing a wrestling show. Or I guarantee you, a lot of these fuckers that apply to work in creative writing for WWE, I guarantee you, none of them never once watched WWE or pro wrestling as a whole. Period. I put money on that.
I just wish they would. Have you ever listened to any of those clips of Taz during his radio show?
I didn't hear.
Taz's stuff is gold. I'm telling you right now. It's
what he
really
has to say about Roman Reigns is always gold, and so he knows how this guy should be booked. And I wish he would I wish he would come back just to write.
I mean, could be.
I mean, it's just better when you have people who actually know about the business, who were in it. They know what.
Try telling that to WWE. Try telling that to Vince McMahon. Try telling that.
Well, apparently the only people they like to have right and have that kind of control is fucking John Laurinaitis. I'm gonna go marry a Bella. Woohoo!
I mean, did I just say something similar to that? I mean, with the writing team, everyone's watching wrestling. But what else you got for them? What do you think, though? I mean, who do you see going where, though, in your opinion?
Well, I see Roman Reigns burying the entire roster of Raw and then drafted to SmackDown burying that one. That's if Cena beats it first. Anyways, thank you guys for taking my calls. That's all I gotta say, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, buddy. Take it easy, all right, man?
See you guys.
All right. Tell you what, we're going to take one more call, and then we're going to wrap up the show here, all right? One more call we'll take. And after that, we'll wrap up the show. All right? Because, again, I get it. All of you here right now, y'all got stuff to do tomorrow. The beginning of Memorial Day weekend. It already started, I guess. Depends how you look at it. And you guys want to get ready, go to the beach, go to some local water park, I guess.
It's been
I don't know.
fucking hot recently, man.
Dude, it's crazy. It feels like summer's already here.
Yep, summer is here.
Summer's already here. Don't be
Fuck.
surprised though. Tomorrow you wake up and it's fucking 20 degrees and shit. You have fucking
Nah, chill.
put on that North Face and shit. Put on that Steep Tech. Put on that Scully.
That ain't
So-
gonna happen.
Quick question in regards to this brand split. Now, I just saw this on Facebook. I know we're just about to have the pay-per-view for it, but like going into the next year, because it's going to last at least one whole year of a brand split. Do you guys want to see Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 33 or 2 ladder matches at the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view the following year? Guys?
Say it again.
Okay. Would you? I saw this question on Facebook, and it was very simple. Because of the brand split that is happening, and I know that it's going to happen after the Money in the Bank pay-per-view this year, but would you, because of the brand split, do you want to see a Money in the Bank ladder match for both brands, just one match, happen at WrestleMania 33, or do you want to keep it a part of its own pay-per-view for 2017 and have most likely 2 ladder matches?
I say 2 ladder matches. I mean, depends. I mean,
Nah.
honestly, I'll be honest. I get, they're trying to make its own pay per view, and honestly, I'm not big on that whole concept of having a pay per view based off a match. In a perfect world, it'd be a WrestleMania. It'd be only a WrestleMania. You have guys from both Raw and SmackDown in one match, and you have them cash in as ever champ. If now they do have the champion for Raw, champion for SmackDown, you have them choose which belt they want to cash in on.
Yeah.
What do you think, Walter, Chase, Conor? What do y'all think?
I like the original concept, the one ladder match, and you get to cash out whoever.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I would personally do 1 ladder match at WrestleMania with maybe 6 to 8, and 8's kind of pushing it because for 2 reasons. Number 1, you get that cross promotion, so you get to see guys face each other, which is one of the things I'm going to mention in a future video where, like, at least you get some fucking dream matches nowadays. Jesus. We're not, like, rushing to blow a feud, so we actually have some anticipation to see 2 guys that haven't touched yet fight it out.
Yeah.
There's that. You get to see cross promotion on that end. Oh, this Raw guy's going to face this SmackDown guy. Oh, it's going to be unique and awesome. And again, it's the unpredictability. So if that person has the Money in the Bank briefcase, they could cash it in on their brand's champion, but they could also cash it in on the other brand's champion and jump ship. And so for those 2 reasons, that's what I would do. I would do just the solo one for a world title, and they can choose, kind of like the Rumble, same deal. I would say a world champion, their choice of world champion.
Let me add a third reason why they need to stick with 1 instead of 2. 1 ladder match is most likely going to have anywhere from 6 to 8 people, and there's a chance of injury. Do you want to double that chance? Plain and simple.
Oh.
Because then you got to do up to like 16 people in 2 ladder matches. And we don't need... I mean, look how many injuries we've had without ladder matches.
True.
Like this year and last year. So, like, that could really affect the roster.
Yeah, indeed it could. I'll tell you guys what. With that being said, I want to wrap up the show now because, again, it's getting late here. I know all you guys want to sleep, do something to do. So, we thank you all today for tuning in live. Thank you all. All right? You can catch this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and also over at SoundCloud. If you want to buy a t-shirt, head over to head over to the TEAMHEEL Podcast store over at Spreadshirt. www.teamheelpodcast.spreadshirt.com. If you want to support the show, take it to that extra mile. Take an extra mile. Support us over at Patreon and help the TEAMHEEL Podcast grow and go to places that it hasn't been yet. And again, it's up to you. All right. Follow the TEAMHEEL Podcast over at Twitter at TEAMHEEL Podcast. Check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/gutcheckpodcast. You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. And if you're on this channel right now, hit that subscribe button and share this throughout all your social media. Okay, cuz.
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at HeyWalter. You can sub to my YouTube channel, I guess, if you want. Knowledge at Wrestling, and I just want to congratulate LeBron James. He got we got his sixth finals appearance. So that's just crazy. So
You can follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68, YouTube.com/Chase Oliver. Post Raw Rundown every Monday, and TEAMHEEL Podcast every week.
All right. Okay, Conor.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Conor, a.k.a. OKFabe. I do a YouTube channel just as well, youtube.com/OKFaber, wrestling news, rumors, talk, reviews, and various discussion videos, and also 2K16 gameplay that I just recently started doing as well. Twitter at OKFabe. Don't forget I live stream, as Chase said, post-Raw Rundown immediately following Monday Night Raw, which is now available on Stitcher, Shout Engine, SoundCloud, soon to be iTunes, ProWrestlingTees.com/OKFabe, and yours truly also has a Patreon as well, patreon.com/OKFaber. Boom.
For Patreon for us, patreon.com/TeamHeel Podcast. And give it a look-see if you want to donate, and check out the rewards if you choose to donate. All right? End of the day, it's a win-win for everyone. And again, it's your choice. All right? Dave Sack, what's your social media? Where can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook /The Unappreciated Wrestling. Of course, in the near future, I will be taking some time out because it is summer to do journalistic analyses on unappreciated wrestlers. I'll give you guys some links to some old wrestling matches you could check out of different people, or just different matches in general. One match that I will recommend, although it was short, it would have been a really good dream match feud, was during the very first draft show. We had Taz versus Mr. Perfect, two of the founding fathers of Suplex City.
All right, guys. That being said, we'll be back next week for episode 149 of the TEAMHEEL Podcast. We're almost at 150, which I think is cool. I think it's always just, amazing as well. Till next time, guys. I'm Heel Steven.
I'm Knowledge of Wrestling.
I'm Chase Oliver.
I'm Conor, a.k.a. OKFabe.
And we have Dave Sack here. All right, we'll be back next week. This is episode 148 of the TEAMHEEL Podcast. Play that new intro for you guys, just in case you missed it. And we're out like Janet's titties.
And now, you are listening to the TEAMHEEL Podcast, live, brought to you by Spreadshirt.com, with Heel Steven, Non-Legit Wrestling, OKFabe, and Chase Oliver, ready to shoot the shit with each and every one of you live.
All the way up.